there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck, as well as our Boston Bruins friend Wyan. Hello there, Wyan. Wood.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, hello there, Wyan. All right, so on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Blue Jackets getting a new ECHL affiliate, the Wheeling Nailers. We're going to talk about that. How does that affect the Blue Jackets? We will be doing a Elvis Merzlikins report card, more goals from different Big Ten schools for hockey, and so much more. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Long time no see, Chubba Wubba Hub says. Hey, how's it going, Chub? Nice seeing you. Thanks for joining us for the hits. Sweet. Did I freeze on my end? Or was it
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
long time no see, fellas. What's up, Chubba Wubba Hub? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, it's been a busy week in both the. I guess it's slowed down a little bit for the NHL, but the news cycle never seems to stop. It's been ridiculous and whatnot. But thanks for joining us. I know everyone's pretty busy this summer. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from Twitter, check us out on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, check us out on Twitter. Yeah, the easiest way to support us is by just sending a like or sharing our stuff. We appreciate you. We got quite a bit to talk about today here, but
first,
check me out on Instagram. I'm at Lance S Tattoos. Check out my artwork. Come get tattooed. Good time.
That's right. And before we get going, as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget, as it says so on the screen right there, Union Blue Soldiers says join the march on 10/1/26 R-Bar 6 o'clock p.m. CBJ. Because Union Blue Soldiers are doing their annual March of the Union Army on Thursday, October 1st, 2026, R-Bar, 6 o'clock p.m. This is the event that you want to go to before the Blue Jackets home opener. It's a fun time. Hefty Duck's been there. I've been there. You could be on TV. We've had people from the Columbus media show up. We've had Stinger show up. It's a lot of fun coming together with your fellow Blue Jackets fans to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So one last time, join Union Blue Soldiers for their annual March of the Union Army on October 1st, 2026, starting at R-Bar 6 o'clock p.m., Join Union Blue Soldiers as we march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. And one last thing. Don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers, a fun Blue Jackets themed group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like the march and so much more. So don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. All right. Wyan, have the Bruins done anything in the last week or so or no?
They've done just like one thing, and that.
Oh boy, Wyan cut out. Oh no. Oh no, Wyan cut out.
And it was like
Oh no.
the perfect cliffhanger too.
Oh.
And what sucks too is like when I cut out, like I thought you did, so I kind of just kept talking. I could have said anything. No one knows what I would have said.
Oh
said
no.
there.
Lion cut
That's
out.
right.
Oh no. Oh well. Lion gets back in here. We'll let him say what he had to say there. Apparently, the Bruins, they did something.
Holy shit!
We just don't know what.
Crazy.
So, cliffhanger. Da da da.
That's a bummer.
It's just bummer.
Well, so I'll start talking about the first thing I was going to talk about, which is like something kind of cool that happened this last week. So there's a client of one of the artists that I work with who had found this prize that was supposed to be for some sort of giveaway like several years ago that was lost, and as they're moving, they happen to find it. Well, it is a signed Adam Boquist photo.
Nice.
Oh, there's wine. There's wine.
What's up, Wyan? Let me finish
Okay.
this real quick, then we'll go right back to you, just because I want to finish my thought. Here's a signed Adam Boquist puck. So,
did I put out there?
yeah, you cut out.
Damn.
Sorry. We heard, so the Bruins have done one thing, and then you cut out.
Like, oh no.
That's all right.
But yeah.
So yeah, the one thing the Bruins did was they released some new numbers for this season for some players. 5 players are getting new numbers. They would be JJ Paterka getting number 10, which is interesting because James Hagens wore number 10 in college. So I guess he might be sticking with 44, which is what he wore last year for the few games he was up here. Will Borgen is going to be wearing number 17, which is interesting because other former Bruins that have worn that number include Milan Lucic and Nick Foligno.
Yeah.
So that's always nice to see. Ivan Ivan's going to be wearing number 49. I'm not sure how much NHL time he's actually going to get, but I guess in the event he gets called up, it's 49.
Yeah.
And then former Bruin Connor Clifton coming back, getting his old number 75 back from Lucas Reichel, who wore 75 last year, but he'll be wearing number 76 this year. And yeah, that's pretty much all they've done in the week span that we've been.
Yeah. Well, it counts for something. It counts for something. That's good. That is good to know. That is good to know. That's good to know. So, Hefty Duck, you have anything else to say of what you were sharing before Wine got back in here?
Oh, no, mostly just that it is it's like the only signed piece of memorabilia I have. I have not. I have a bunch of other like collectible stuff, but other than that, nothing actually signed. And so yeah, there's a huge thanks out there to Nick. I appreciate the gift and thinking of me, because yeah, that's just funny that I know you talked about it a little bit before, Kevin. You know, you're just like known as like the Blue Jackets guy, like to friends and family a lot, and that's kind of like how I am. Like the whole neighborhood, like the whole little town I live in, there's not a whole lot of hockey influence. In fact, so last week I went to this place called Play It Again Sports. It's a used sports equipment store. And so I was in Canton, Ohio, which many people might have talked about or heard about this week, when they had the Hall of Fame game, because that's where the Football Hall of Fame is. And so it's a pretty large city, I would say. It's not near the size of Cleveland or Columbus or Cincinnati, but it is a very large city. I was like, do you have any hockey equipment? He goes, no, not really. You're gonna have to like go to Cleveland or Columbus for that. And I'm like, what? Really? In a city this size? It's kind of crazy. It's like there's not really a whole lot of stuff. That there was a couple of beat up sticks in the corner. That was about it. I mean, I found better sticks at thrift stores, but you know, hopefully we'll grow in that game a little more
Right.
in this area.
So
But,
good. Well, that's good that you got something cool. Autograph stuff is cool because I have autographed Cam Atkinson picture. That's cool.
Nice.
So that's cool. That's cool. All right, on to the next thing. The Blue Jackets have a new ECHL affiliate team. It's the Wheeling Nailers out of Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling Nailers used to be with Pittsburgh for 29 years. And then Pittsburgh dropped them, and now they're with the Florida Everblades, which geographically that does not even come close to making sense, but oh well, I guess. I mean, because if West Virginia, it's right by Pennsylvania and it's right by Ohio, so geographically that would have did make sense for Pittsburgh. But they made the decision to have their ECHL team in Florida. Oh, I don't get it, but fine. I don't get it, but fine, whatever. So then a lot of people started taking guesses. Well, they think, well, where could Wheeling go? And a lot of people thought, well, the Blue Jackets, because the Blue Jackets didn't have an ECHL team. And they think, well, who's the team that needs an ECHL team? And who needs nearby. One? That's nearby. Well, the Blue Jackets. That's really the only one that made sense from that perspective. And everyone in the Blue Jackets fan base is like, well, I want Toledo. I want Cincinnati. And I understand that because it would have, cool, because I understand that because then geographically it would have made sense, and you keep it all in Ohio, and you expand your reach, which is understandable. But the thing that we have to consider here is that that's not going to happen because Toledo is Detroit's ECHL affiliate, and Cincinnati currently is Toronto's ECHL affiliate. So the whole let's do all Ohio thing, well, it makes sense. That was not going to happen. So then you have to look, well, what's the next best thing? Wheeling, because it's in West Virginia, and West Virginia is right there. It touches Ohio. So that also makes sense geographically speaking. So if you're not going to get one of the Ohio teams, you can your next best bet is go to West Virginia to go get Wheeling. And Wheeling's only like 2 hours from Columbus.
And it's actually close. Wheeling's slightly closer to me than Columbus is, I believe.
Yeah.
From where I live. I mean, like I said, I live like near Canton.
And it's, it's like almost 3 hours to Cleveland. So it's like within reason. So it's not like if like the Monsters needed someone from, and it's not like, well, the team is in like Florida or something. We got to get a plane, fly him to Cleveland and hope he gets there in time. It's like, no, it's like, we need someone. Okay. Get someone from Wheeling. It's like, okay, you can be there like 3 hours car ride tops. You're good to go. Like, you don't have to worry about that. And, Wheeling has had some good teams over the years, and they've developed some guys that have gone on to play in the NHL. And last thing that I'll say about this is the reason why I like this is that the Blue Jackets haven't had an ECHL team in a bit. And there's been some guys that they need to find spots to play. And it's a lot harder to do that when you don't have an ECHL team, because then you're hoping for the best and you're just hoping that teams have spots available. And they've been able to have some success with that, but that's not always a very good strategy to have. And also another thing to consider here is that if you put one of your players on a different team in a different organization, there's no guarantee that that team is going to have the same development ideas as you for what they want for a player. And that's not a good strategy either, because that may be good, that may be bad. So, like, now that you have your own actual team in the ECHL, you don't have to worry about that, and you can just stick guys there that need to play, and you don't have to worry about finding a team to pull, stick them on if they have spots and everything, and you don't have to worry about, well, the development issues and all that sort of stuff that other teams may have different ideas compared to you. You don't have to worry about that. You stick a guy on your team, you play, and then when he's ready, you bring him up to the Monsters, and eventually he'll be up with the Blue Jackets. So overall, I like this, and actually seen a lot of comments about how there are some fans from Wheeling. Oh man, this is cool. I'm excited to go up to Columbus for a game or this or that, and there are some Blue Jackets fans in West Virginia. Like, oh man, this is so cool. I live in West Virginia. I like the Blue Jackets. I go up to Columbus for games. I go see Wheeling for games. And now they're the Blue Jackets affiliate. That's so cool. I'm looking forward to going some of the more games in Wheeling and, Blue Jackets games and whatnot. And I look forward to going to trips to Columbus. So overall, this is, it's pretty good. It helps you out from a development standpoint with your prospects, and you are expanding the Blue Jackets fan base, and I like that as well. So overall, this is a pretty good move. I like this.
Yeah, I'm a fairly big fan of this move. It's nearby. It was like a few years ago, the ECHL affiliate had been the Kalamazoo Wings, which was in Michigan. And I always find it a little bit funny how some of these teams, like the Kalamazoo Wings, were directly named after like the Detroit Red Wings. Pretty much, they had like a very similar logo and colors and all of that. And I always find it funny when there's the affiliate team that's like based on another team from like the NHL. So for instance, here you see the Wheeling Nailers are black and yellow. And I've seen a report that at least for now, it's going to stay that way, which I have no real problem with that. The Cleveland Monsters have been slowly more transitioning towards the Columbus Blue Jackets colors too, which, the red, white, and blue, which is also like Cleveland Guardians colors. Because at one point, they also had like a heavy wine and gold, like what the Cavs new colors were like.
Yeah.
And us, I can't not talk about jerseys a little bit when we talk about a new team. But yeah, this one's interesting in that regards. Otherwise, I think it's a prime location for this. I've heard, like I said, Wheeling's not that far from me, and from where I work, it is about an hour drive. From where I work, Cleveland is about an hour and a half. Columbus would be about 2 hours 20 minutes or so. So Wheeling is like I said, actually, like I'm closer there than either of those two larger cities, but I don't know. It's a fun time. There's a nice casino there. I've been there a few times. But other than that, I don't really know too much about Wheeling, but like I said, I can get there and back in an evening just fine. So I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, who was their affiliate before? Was it the Penguins?
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh.
Right on. Yeah, the Cyclones would have been cool. I actually thought the Cyclones were kind of a ECHL affiliate for Carolina because of the Cyclone name.
Yeah,
but
it's Toronto.
And then Toledo Walleye. Aren't they? Isn't that the Red Wings affiliate now? Yeah, okay. I wonder who has the Kalamazoo Wings. Maybe that's.
It was the Blue Jackets, and then they got someone else.
I was gonna say, oh, it's the Canucks, which that's a long flight if you got to go all the way out there. Jeez.
Oof.
Huh.
So Wine, you have anything to say here?
Yeah, I just gotta say I love that logo so much.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It looks like a Bruins themed, like Jason Voorhees or something to me.
It's like a cross between the Mighty Ducks logo, like the with the mask, and the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
But it's less of a gold and it's more of a yellow, like Penguins or Bruins yellow.
So, and it's 2 years, so they have this for 2 years, and maybe after the 2 years they get someone else different, or maybe after the 2 years you keep going.
Yep.
So, and apparently they have a goal. The Nailers have a goal horn that sounds like a train.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
And
The Monsters is just like a boat horn because they're right on the lake.
Choo choo train for Nichushkin.
Well, yeah, a lot of people said that because when the Blue Jackets got Valerie Nichushkin, a lot of people, you read the comments on Twitter, there's a lot of Colorado fans that said, choo choo train for Nichushkin. I'm like, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. He scores a goal for the Blue Jackets. It's choo choo train. I love this. We're doing it.
Yes.
But if it happens, if it's the chili chant along with the choo choo train, that's a long after goal celebration. Which, dude, we got a petition for this is so random, I know, off the wall. The chili chant. Wyan, if you're not aware of what that is, so if the Blue Jackets score 3 or more goals or something like that in a game, you get like half off chili or some shit at Roosters. And so the goal is scored. They do the goal horn, not the cannon yet, I don't think.
Goal horn, then cannon,
then chili chant.
Yeah.
And then the celebration song.
Yeah.
Like, so, and here's the chili chant. It goes dun 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 chili, dun 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 chili. And like a little bit, like it does it like 2 or 3 more times, and it's like it kills the fucking vibe so hard. And then after that, it shows what and like everyone's dancing, the celebration is there again, and it's like, can we put the chili chant after the song?
Yeah, I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah, because I would be even more for the chili chant. Like, I think it's personally, I think it's kind of funny watching like everyone who like isn't aware of like it does a thing. Everyone's like, what the fuck? What is the chili? What is this circus music playing right now? What the hell? And then it goes like to the regular goal.
It's gotten me not anymore, but it's gotten me before where you're at a game, the Blue Jackets they scored the first 2 goals, everyone's loud, it's crazy, the goal horn goes off,
momentum's going.
And then the lock wicks by the whip, and everyone's excited and clapping and jumping up and down and everything, and it gets to the 3rd goal, and then the goal horn goes off, and then cannon, and it's happened to me where I'm ready for it, and that's like, oh yeah, that's right, chili chant, and I'm like, chili, dun 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 dun, chili. And then it goes to that, and like, all right, let's go. Whoa, but I don't think that's going to happen. There's probably a reason why the Blue Jackets. Yeah, there's some contract agreement that the Blue Jackets have to do it then. So it is what it is. Just accept it for what it is, because Roosters is giving the Blue Jackets money, probably a lot of money for that.
I get that it's a fun, casual joint. That's their tagline. This is
It
a little
is.
too fun and a little too casual. This is the fucking NHL. You know, gotta fuck up a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely heard of the Chili Chant before. I didn't know it came before the goal song or how it went at all.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
But, that's pretty funny.
It's
Oh, it's great. You know, they are right. Roosters is a fun, casual environment. I've been there many times, so they're right. But you know, but you know, I can see what you're thinking there, Hefty Duck.
yeah.
All right.
One of those random summer thoughts.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the hockey fatigue's hitting.
God.
I mean,
damn. Yes, it is. All
but
right.
at the same time, we're only like a month and a half out, right?
For you,
Yeah, right.
October. The Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets starting. We're not. The Blue Jackets start in October. We don't get that September start.
We got preseason though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Blue Jackets. Everyone's, it starts in September this year. I'm like, yeah, but the Blue Jackets are going to get an October start. They're not getting picked for that September start. And I was proven to be right. Because it always happens where it's like, hockey starts on like a Tuesday. It'd be like some Tuesday in October. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, okay. And it's like, oh, cool. But then like, well, the Blue Jackets don't get picked for that. They get picked for like a Thursday or a Friday to start their season.
Put it on a Friday. Put it on a Saturday. Why they gotta start like the whole season out on a Tuesday? Like fuck. Like just
I'm just saying because like everyone gets excited. Oh, it starts on a Tuesday, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not the Blue Jackets. They get picked. They don't get picked for that. They get picked for like a Thursday or a Friday. So like you need to like add 2 or 3 days to that to when it actually starts. If you like the Blue Jackets, I've always done that. Oh, it starts on Tuesday. Not the Blue Jackets. Thursday or Friday. Add like 2 or 3 days to that. Then it starts. You know. But anyways,
I mean, I'm fine watching any team, honestly. But
yeah,
Well,
at least hockey. Like I love baseball a lot, but there's not enough to like fill the time really. Like I'm just constantly like, should I watch a show? Should I start a movie? Like, what am I like? Where's the hockey? I need it. I've been watching like these random leagues from like Europe and shit too. I'm watching cricket lately. I'm literally that's how bad it is right now.
Like, baseball's always going to be my like number 3 sport.
Yeah.
I'm always going to like hockey and football more.
Damn right.
I get that.
So if you give me tickets to a baseball game, I'm going.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going.
I like a lot of baseball. It's my number 2 sport after hockey. I do have the training camp schedule.
Before we get to that, I got something for shits and giggles I want to share.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll back this up here. So Ohio State, they're getting the new jersey ad and all their jerseys, and it's Chase Bank, and a lot of people aren't very fond of that. Okay, fine, whatever, but that's just how it is. In today's world with how recruiting is and how crazy NIL has got, you need to find money somewhere, and that means jersey ads. And well, the Blue Jackets this season, they didn't have a jersey ad, but they had for a couple seasons, and that's just how it is. Sports teams are going to have jersey ads, and people may not like it. They may like it. It is what it is. You're just going to have to accept it for what it is. Now, I saw this on Twitter, and I'll zoom in on it so you can see it, what the joke is.
The Buckeye Donuts logo.
Yeah, the joke is that like they shouldn't have picked they shouldn't have picked Chase Bank. Should have picked Buckeye Donuts in Town Hall. But the main joke is, you should have picked Buckeye Donuts. Which is, if we're being honest here, that would have been an awesome sponsor because Buckeye Donuts is awesome.
I'm surprised they didn't have Kroger nationwide.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, Ohio State, you should have done Buckeye Donuts for your jersey ad because that's cool. Because Buckeye Donuts is awesome. I get Buckeye Donuts when I'm in Columbus because their donuts are awesome.
Yeah, they are. I don't know if they could afford it. The sponsorship needed.
Yeah, but come on now, Buckeye Donuts as the Ohio State jersey sponsor. That would have been awesome.
I mean, they have a Schmidt's Sausage House in the arena now.
Yeah,
they should do a Buckeye Donuts in arena. That'd be awesome.
Just say Buckeye Donuts on Ohio State jerseys. Come on now, Ohio State. Come on now.
And get in on the chili jersey chance.
Yeah, right. Where's the freaking Roosters ads for Ohio State?
Well, they probably don't have money for that because they're giving all the money to the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, no shit.
You think they're paying NHL money to the Blue Jackets? You think they got leftover money for Ohio State?
Right. Them are Jets. Jets pizza.
Let's see here. Who? Okay, so who did this? Was I want to check who did this. Twitter page Woody versus World did this. And the caption is Buckeye Donuts robbed. I agree. Anyways, Buckeye Donuts. It's awesome. And it should be a jersey sponsor on Ohio State, but that's besides the point. So that was just for shits and giggles. All right, anyways, training camp roster. Go, Hefty Doug.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I just spilled my fucking drink.
Oh boy.
Give me a second. Oh, shit.
Training camp's off to a good start.
All right. I have some paper towels soaking it up. That was just bad timing. I don't know why the that's the way she goes. Training camp schedule. Wednesday, September 17th. Medicals and fitness testing. It says McConnell/NWA. So is there a building? Is there a McConnell building, or is because like NWA is Nationwide Arena?
Or you got like the McConnell parking garage.
Oh yeah, that would probably be it. So this might be telling like the media where to go to. I don't know. Yeah. This wasn't something sent to me. This is just public information off the website. So then Thursday, September 18th, they'll have a practice. So these first few practices are probably only open to media. Not probably, they are only open to media. So they got a couple practices on the 18th and 19th, and then Saturday, September 20th, I do know is an open practice.
Yep.
And then so that's Saturday. Then Sunday, September 21st is the first preseason scrimmage or exhibition game or whatever the hell it is against St. Louis, and that's in Nationwide Arena. That's at 5 p.m., so that's kind of an early start for a game, but it's a Sunday, so that makes sense. Then September 22nd, the next day, there is going to be another scrimmage. That'll be Buffalo against Buffalo at Nationwide. And then the next night, there's another one at Buffalo. So what's probably going to be happening here is there's like two groups. There's like two practice groups. There's group 1, group 2. And there you can see that the practices are already split on the schedule here. So they're probably going to send one of those groups to Buffalo, and then one of them will play in Columbus. It's probably not going to be the same players playing back-to-back games the entire time. That'd be kind of a crazy preseason. But yeah, so it's gonna from the 17th for one full week to the next Wednesday, it's just gonna be going hard, and then they get Sunday off, or sorry, they get Thursday off, and then a couple more preseason games until when is the first game?
October 1st.
October. Wait, is this year's? Hold on. October 1st.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets home opener is October 1st.
What day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, this has to be last year's schedule then. Damn it. How am I even getting this? It doesn't say anything about here. Like I'll share the. Oh, that's ass. Here, I'll show you. It just says health training camp, open practice Saturday. I thought this. Like I was gonna say, I thought the 20th was a Sunday. Because here's like the whole schedule. This must be. Let's check the groups.
Yeah, look, 25th anniversary logo.
Yeah. What? Okay, well, disregard everything that I just said for the past like 15 fucking minutes. Update your shit, y'all. All right. Moving on.
All right. Elvis Merzlikins report card. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 because that's a C, and he is a C. When he's bad, it's bad. He'll let in a goal or two that he shouldn't, but he does it anyways, and the Blue Jackets lose in part because of him. But at the same time, Elvis Merzlikins is also good and plays games where he's good, where he makes big saves to keep the Blue Jackets in the game, and the Blue Jackets win in part because of that. Elvis Merzlikins has games where he plays a really good game where he takes over the game, and because of that, the Blue Jackets win. And also, Elvis Merzlikins, he's really good in the shootout. The last two seasons, Elvis Merzlikins is 7-0 in the shootout. So you're not beating the Blue Jackets if Elvis Merzlikins is the goalie in the shootout. So 7-0 the last two seasons in the shootout. That's pretty good. And not really a starter anymore, but you know what? Elvis Merzlikins has shown that he's more than capable than being a good backup goalie for Jet Greaves now, because that's how it's going to be this season, is that we now know that Jet Greaves can play a full season. He's going to be the guy, but you can't always play him, so you're going to need someone that you can count on as a backup, and that's Elvis Merzlikins. Time and time again, Elvis Merzlikins has shown that he can be a good goalie. We've seen him do it. So 5 out of 10. That's what I give Elvis Merzlikins. It's a strong 5 out of 10. It's not a bad 5 out of 10. It's a good 5 out of 10, because when he's good, really shines.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a few things I like about Merzlikins. I'm gonna say a few things where there could be some improvement when I go to give my grade here. I'm trying to look up a very quick stat. So leaders, save percentage. Okay, so you know me, I'm always going to bring in some stats when we talk about hockey players and their grades, what we think they should get after the season. So Jack Greaves played 55 games this last season. He started 53 of those. So there was 2 separate occasions where he had to come in for Merzlikins. And I don't know if there was any vice versa where Greaves had to be pulled. Even so, it happens to the best goalies sometimes. You just have an off night. I say it all the time. Nobody bats 1,000. It's not possible. No. You just can't. Doesn't matter how good you are. There's going to be an off night. So you just try to limit those as much as possible. So Merzlikins played 30 games. He started 29. He had 14 wins and 11 losses. So he had 3 more wins than losses. Pretty solid. 3 ties / overtime. He had 95 goals against in 812 shots. 717 saves, which he ended the season with an 883 save percentage. Not super great. I'm trying to find 2025 26 leaders. And let's talk about, if I can find it, goalies. Here we go. Save percentage. Oh, shoot. I meant to get this up. Goals plus minus, total goals on ice 4, save percentage. All right. So the best save percentage this last season in the NHL was Carl Vermelka. He had 64 games played. Oh, sorry. Never mind. It was Scott Wedgwood, 45 games played. He had 921. That is the top goaltender in the NHL from last season, was Scott Wedgwood with a 921 save percentage. After that was Wallstead, 915. Logan Thompson, 912. Tied with Igor Shesterkin at 912. I'm going to go until I hit someone that's very familiar to all of us. So Vasilevsky, 911. Cooley, Hofer, and Grubauer all tied at 909, along with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So there's like 5 guys tied there. And then we have Jet Greaves with a 908. So let's go back to Merzlikins. It was an 883. Let's see where that would put him on the list. That actually puts him down at number 46. So Hockey Reference lists 56 goalies. And Elvis Merzlikins had was 46th in save percentage. Here's an odd name that was below that. So I just want to point this out. I'm not trying to dog on anybody with this. I'm simply trying to point out that a lot of the Merzlikins hate isn't really warranted because I don't get it. He's quality. He's not the number 1 with a 921 save percentage, but he's not Sergei Bobrovsky this last season with an 877. Bobrovsky played 52 games. Usually the more games you have, the more shots there are. So you can kind of like your percentage should probably be a little bit higher just naturally because there's more shots being taken on you. You have more chances to make saves. I don't know. Maybe my thinking's backwards here, but here's some other guys from the bottom of the list. Frederik Andersen from Carolina, Kevin Lankinen and Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill. He just won a cup pretty recently. So when we talk about Elvis Merzlikins being second string or the backup goalie, there is the argument that people made that it's almost like a A-B situation, like goalie, like a tandem in a way. I think that the Blue Jackets could operate that way as a tandem. I don't think that they will, nor should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I think Greaves should really be getting that plane. I mean, I've been seeing articles all throughout the summer even talking about, like, how he was, 19 games above replacement or something like that in his stats, like, that holy shit. That was, like, the highest ranked one out of all the other goaltenders. So, yeah, I just wanna put that in perspective for people. So, who else had an 883? Cam Talbot, Jacob Markstrom, Yaroslav Askarov. So they all had an 883 as well. So the league average this season was the 896. And I should bring up his goals against average was a 3.4. So that I believe it was the fourth worst for goals against average. So just some food for thought there. I'm gonna go over a couple more. He had one shutout this last season, which is awesome. And then shootouts. So Greaves took 21 of the attempts this last season. Elvis Merzlikins took 8. Of those 8, 3 were made, 5 were missed. So that's a 62.5% in the shootout. Yeah, if you were up against the Blue Jackets in a shootout this last season, you were not. They got beat like once, or twice, like in the shootout the whole season, and it was after I think like a controversial goal to even get to overtime or something. I don't remember fully. It's the Flyers, I think. But yeah, between the guys who were making the shots and the guys blocking the shots, overall, Elvis Merzlikins, like I said, 46th goalie in the league. Now, in that list, like I don't think anyone on that list had less than like how many games played. Hold on. Because there's more than no, like pretty much everyone on that list. The top 65 I was talking about had like 20 or more games. Oh dang, there's some other guys further down the list. Oh shit. So I just realized that. But yeah. So number 46 out of whatever 100, however many there are. I think it's like a C+ for me. It's definitely passing.
Yes.
So Kevin would have gone with the 5. So I'm looking at more of like a 6, roughly, where it's like we saw the improvement. The save percentage and the goals against average definitely need to go down, but you won more than you lost. I can't complain.
Bad.
So I don't know. Hopefully, the trend continues upwards. You know, because it was last season too that the season before. Remember when the whole Elvis Merzlikins is requesting a trade out of Columbus because people
Right.
love to just say that about Columbus all the time. And he goes, "I'm a number 1 goalie." He said that like he and that's what we need is someone who is in that second string goalie who is trying to be the first string.
Yep.
Like an active. This is how the team, the players will get better. It's how you get active participation and trying from players to get better, which then will make the team better. Because you know, we'll be kind of seeing that for spots again this year. Because this year, you know, what's going to be fighting for those top line positions is it's going to be experience versus just like raw skill and talent, like in a young form. So healthy competition, at least, and that's the way I believe Merzlikins is taking this too. Like I don't think he's taking it to heart. He's not like angry at Greaves or whatever. Like Greaves is great. Merzlikins is like, I gotta push myself further to like try to like keep my spot here. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next year too. I think that there was that one season where or like a few seasons where he was the number 1 goalie, and there was just those times where he like last minute scratches. Like it would be like he'd be set to start a game and like who knows, like I don't know. We got like there's a lot of speculation as to why he was missing so many games. Like it was speculation that it was like a stomach issue or something like that, some sort of something like that. And honestly, I mean, it could have in part been the stress, and especially after having gone through losing someone like you know, Kivleniek's, like the extra stress on top of like you know, speaking from personal experience here, it can really take it out of you. Just having the extra stress on top of like the you know, stressor. So anyway, putting a little bit less pressure on him, but still having like a big role on the team. You need to be there. We need you for games. We cannot do this without you. We could not. We just can't play every game. So a lot of words to say C+.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna put this up on the screen and this comment on the screen, and then I want to get wine in here. So, Dylan McNeely, no McNeely. I think I probably screwed up your name. Sorry, Dylan. But Dylan says, love this pod. And thank you for your kind words, Dylan. Thank you. Good to know that you like our show. And,
yeah, thanks.
I'm going to put this, I'm going to show this because it's not the first time. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to try this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
Going? You caught me reaching into my mini fridge behind me.
That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know if you can see this or not. But there you are, Dylan, commenting on one of our previous shows right there. There's me, there's Hefty Duck.
Yeah.
There he is. And the comment says, "This Kevin is a genius!" ! This is insane level breakdown. I'm just saying. So I saw that, so I had to save that comment, and it's saved right here on my tablet because I gotta toot up my own horn to make myself feel good sometimes. But thank you for watching the show, Dylan. McNeely, okay. McNeely, okay. There we go. Okay.
So
There we go. McNeely. All right then. Okay. Dylan. Another comment. That is legendary! ! Fire emojis, laughing emojis. Screenshot at the comment. You are good, Kev! So thank you, Dylan. Thank you for the comment. That's good. That's good. So, anyways, thank you for your comments on the show, Dylan.
What a guy.
I know, what a guy. I have to put stuff up on the screen when I got to toot my own horn sometimes to make me feel good sometimes. Oh boy. Anyways, so thank you for your comments, Dylan. Anyways, Ryan, do you have anything to say about Elvis Merzlikins?
Yeah, well, first of all, Kevin is definitely a genius when it comes to his Columbus Blue Jackets breakdowns and just in general. But yeah, Elvis reminds me a lot of Jonas Corposalo, funnily enough. Yeah. I know they were a tandem in Columbus there at one point as well. Totally. But yeah, like Corposalo, the last 2 years in Boston, he would have his good games and then he would have his awful games. And I feel like the bad games they have, like, sometimes get overshadowed the good games. Like, and then when you're looking at the stats at the end of the season, they don't look pretty because of those games. But yeah, it can be tough to judge a backup goalie sometimes, for sure. Because, he did win more than he lost, to his credit. So, wins are a very important stat. But then, yeah, the individual numbers don't end up looking as good. So, I don't know. I think Elvis gets a bad rap in Columbus because of his contract, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ideal to pay a backup goalie that much, but I think he's only under contract for like one more season, right?
Yes, this is it.
Yeah, so it's like at the end of the season, you can make a decision on that, whether if he's willing to sign for true backup money, maybe you bring him back. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be
but
interesting to pay attention to.
yeah, that'll be an interesting storyline. Is what do the Blue Jackets do there once his contract is up? Because there's reasons why you could say, well, thanks for everything, but we're going to get someone else. Or there's reason to say, you know what? We've seen you be a good player. We can count on you. We want to bring you back. So it could go either way. If I had to take a guess, though, my assumption is that Elvis Merzlikins is probably going to play himself out of a contract and go somewhere else, because if you look at it, the Blue Jackets have other goalie prospects that are coming up within the next couple years here. Sergei Ivanov from Russia, he's coming pretty soon. And they have Zach Sawchenko out with the Monsters, and Evan Gardner will be there eventually. And of course, Pyotr Andreanov, he's going to eventually come over from Russia. So, the Blue Jackets just drafted Parker Snell. So eventually one of those guys is going to be here. So it's like, if Elvis Merzlikins stayed, I'd be okay with that. But if he left, I'd also be okay with that, because, you do have guys that are coming here eventually, and you do need to make room for those guys, because one of those guys is going to take that spot. So it is what it is. If he stays, that's cool. If not, that's okay too, because he's shown he can be a good goalie, but at the same time, eventually his time will be up, just like Boone Jenner's time was.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes for goalies, really. I mean, if he truly thinks he's a number one goalie still, I mean, it's just not going to happen in Columbus with Jet Greaves there. I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Well, and one thing too, I feel like you mentioned he got a bad rap earlier from the contract. I also think that there is the best defenseman in the NHL, the Norris Trophy winning defenseman on the Blue Jackets, but the defense hasn't been good in general. And I'm not even like taking shade at the defensive players. This is just kind of the whole team's defensive system sucked. And the way they played in front of Elvis for like a few years, like especially with like Larson and Vincent, they played like they had freaking like one of their skates was untied. Like it was just like they couldn't move in position properly or something was going on. So that's part of where I've kind of not turned a blind eye to some of the downfalls of Merzlikins, but he was kind of put in goal as cannon fodder, just for something to shoot at. Didn't matter how good he was going to be. You could be freaking Vasilevsky, and you're still. I mean, if you're a 990 save percentage, and they shoot, 10,000 pucks on you, you're still giving up 1,000. Anyway.
Yeah, that also reminds me of Korpisalo in Boston. Like, our defense hasn't been good the last 2 years, so yeah, goalies have to carry a lot of the load there.
Yeah, they kind of like that's what I felt about even like Brad Larson. It was almost like the guy they put in place because they knew that they were probably gonna lose anyway. So it's like, well, this guy will take the fall, then we'll go. Weird. That's the way I felt about it. I don't know.
It's with Brad Larson, it's hard to know what was actually going on there, because his first season, the Blue Jackets weren't expected to be very good. And under him, they did way better than expected, and they got 81 points, which they weren't supposed to be that good that year. And then they also got Johnny Gaudreau and all that stuff, and Eric Gabranson and Matthew Olivier. So like, okay, well, we're going somewhere. And then, it wasn't a very good season, but a lot of that was injuries and stuff. So it's like hard to know what is the real Blue Jackets under Brad Larson. Is it the team that wasn't very good, or is it the team that did way better than expected and got 81 points? But the thing is, we'll never know because, well, he got fired after the second season. So, we'll just never know. But at the same time, we got Adam Fantilli out of it, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, I mean, was that an odd intention from higher up? We'll never know. Honestly, can we talk about that, the higher ups, for a second? Because I have a quote from someone.
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
talked about it a
yeah.
little bit last week. I didn't get to put my 2 cents in because unfortunately I was not here.
Yeah, you had some shenanigans there to deal with, but you got it fixed.
So we're gonna touch on the Bob McElligott and Jeff Svoboda. I don't know if they were necessarily fired, but their contracts were not renewed, and people are replacing them. So this is from The Athletic. I got this from a public post on Twitter. They reached out to team president Mike Priest. Many Blue Jackets fans will know who Mike Priest is. Many will not. I mean, you ask the average fan, like the average person that just wants to go to a game, like, hey, do you know who the owners are? Why do they really like? I'm here to see hockey, man. Like, I don't really, the first few years I watched, I didn't give a shit. I didn't really know. I mean, I pretty quickly did. But anyway, Mike Priest has been around for like 20 years. So let me talk about this quote, and then I'll talk more about him in just a second. So he was asked about Svoboda and McElligott. Both those names are a little hard for me to say. So anyway, here's what he had to say.
Yeah.
We have great fans and are very appreciative of their passion and support for the Blue Jackets. We also understand how some of them are feeling right now. There are aspects of our business that have changed dramatically in recent years. In order for us to grow, we have to evolve with those changes, and at times that affect people that we all care about, like Bob and Jeff. We pride on ourselves in taking care of our people and do so when situations arise that result in change and they leave the Blue Jackets. We do everything we can to assist them and treat them fairly in situations that we recognize are very difficult. Change is rarely easy, but our transition to a simulcast and more dynamic video-centered content on our other platforms will help us adapt and serve our fans better. We are working hard to be better on and off the ice. We know we haven't won at a level our fans deserve, and that drives us every day. That work will continue. The support of our fans means everything to us and is not something we take for granted. I feel like this was obviously very carefully worded, and understandably so. Immediately after this, the news broke of McElligott and Svoboda, there was discourse online on the Blue Jackets Reddit, on the Twitter. I don't really follow as much on Facebook or anywhere else, but I get it. I really do get it. Both of these guys have a long, a very storied history with the Blue Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
They were a very great mediator between the team and the fans. Personally, I loved reading Svoboda's insights. Definitely one of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean, barely spoke more than like 2 or 3 words to him, but he'd always look right at you no matter who you were and hi, just like a nod or whatever, acknowledged you. When a lot of other people would not, or I didn't expect them to. So Bob McElligott, the way he calls the games was it's what made so many of us think that he might be the replacement for Jeff Rimmer. When he was not, I get it. He is a radio personality and announcer. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the greatest for TV because he's, it's whatever. I'm disappointed because there are 2 mediums that are becoming more and more obsolete.
Yep.
like Mike Priest said. It's becoming more video centered. It's becoming
More TV centered.
yeah, TV centered, especially with this joint simulcast they're doing with the NHL now. Or they're being in. So let's talk a little bit about the network and what we might be looking at with that. Okay, so I do want to mention something. I don't necessarily dislike Mike Priest. I have obviously been a fan of the franchise, and in default, if you're leading the franchise and I'm a fan of it, like I'm technically a fan of what you're doing, except for he does mention here, we know we haven't won at a level that our fans deserve, and that drives us every day. There's been a few consistencies from in the last 20 years. And I kind of hinted at this before and got at it before, but losing and not getting any sort of deep playoff runs or very far at all. And Mike Priest, take that as you will. He's been constantly there, whether it's been good or bad. The Blue Jackets have improved at times under him, but also have not. And lately it's been not. And the GM was switched out. Jarmo Kekalainen had been with them for a decade. They had improved under him as well, and then did not. Change is rarely easy. He says it himself, but it's maybe everything else has kind of changed except for something. So I understand that this is a business decision and that it is a business. I'm sure both of those guys will land somewhere in the sports media world again. I mean, I'm sure that they already have, like, Miguel has to have some other sort of gig going on, like especially in the summer, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff for the Clippers.
That's right. I thought I'd heard something about that. So, that's a good start, and maybe, Hammy in Cleveland is not going to be able to be there forever. And we saw someone go from, being a Columbus announcer for Ohio State to now being like in arena announcer to now being the in-stadium announcer for the Guardians. So maybe we could kind of see that kind of level up there too. I'm just absolutely spitballing here because I'm a little bummed. I really am. I understand, but I'm still going to be bummed about it because they were great people. And like I said, there's, written form media and radio are on the way out. Unfortunately, those are two forms that I consume almost a lot more than I do video content. I know it's a personal thing and I'm in the minority. I get that. So it still sucks because there is still going to be that demand out there. That's why we upload the audio of our podcast. Some people want to listen to it. And you'll still be able to listen to games. It's just going to be simulcast from TV. So the play-by-play will be there. I haven't looked into this, but how other teams, like how it's really, if it makes a difference, because you'd have to imagine the TV announcer is going to have to be a little bit more descriptive, but also, I don't know. I'm just curious how it's going to change the dynamic. Now, I have heard that Dylan Tyrer and Jody Shelley will be doing something for radio.
It's him and Dylan Tyer's just so Dylan Tyrer has always been like that pregame guy plus intermission guy to fill in when Bob McElligott isn't doing stuff. And then sometimes when Bob McElligott can't do a Blue Jackets game, that's when Dylan Tyrer jumps right in and he does the game for him. So essentially he's so Dylan Tyrer is essentially getting more radio stuff now. Minus doing the actual game itself, he's getting more radio stuff. And then, not official, but it sounds like Dave Metzel's going to get more stuff as well, because I've been seeing that on Twitter. So there's that. Another thing to say, Mike Priest is not a owner for the Blue Jackets. He's basically like a money guy for the Blue Jackets. So
He is team president is what the Athletic refers to him as.
yes, so not an owner, but he's pretty high up there in the Blue Jackets organization. He is friends with the McConnell family, who do own the Blue Jackets, so that does play a role into it. But he does what he does. He's a money guy. And from what I've heard is that under him, the Blue Jackets really haven't had any like money issues under him. Like he's managed the Blue Jackets' money good. Because you don't always hear that, because you hear stories how some teams, some guy is running the team's money and he's awful with it. And you hear, oh, this team's having money issues, this and that. I've never heard that with the Blue Jackets. I've always heard that from a money perspective that they're run good. They're run well. Like there's no issues in regards to that. And yeah, I said this last week on the show, and I'll say it again. It does suck that people lose their jobs and everything. And I like Jeff Savoda and I like Bob McElligott. And, Bob McElligott had Twitter spaces every Monday during the season that
Monday mailbags, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. And like he would share his thoughts about the Blue Jackets. And then he'd also say, hey, if you have a question, you can send them to my Twitter page at Bobby Mac Sports. Or, if you want to come on, you can join the Twitter space and ask me a question. And Bob McElligott did that. It didn't matter who you are. If you like the Blue Jackets, he let you come on and you got to ask your question and, and then you would go. But then sometimes you would ask a question and then he would ask you a question and then you'd go back and forth and you'd have a little conversation. And that's actually happened to me multiple times where I'd ask him a question about the Blue Jackets and then he said, oh, that's a good point. I like that. And then he'd ask me a question, or then we go back and forth and have a little conversation and then be like, okay, well, thanks for having me on, Bob, but I'm going to get out of here so someone else can get in. And I'm like, okay, thanks for coming on. So like Bob McElligott was very open to questions from Blue Jackets fans. He was very open to hearing people's thoughts about the Blue Jackets, and Bob McElligott was very pro Blue Jackets, very passionate about the Blue Jackets. He was always there to show support for the Blue Jackets, and I appreciate that. I really did. Jeff Savoda, I did read some of his articles and I liked it, and he posts stuff on Twitter and I like that. So and I like him, and I saw him at our bar one time. It was October 2021. The Blue Jackets were playing Seattle that day, and I was hanging out at our bar before the game, and it was on a Saturday. And, Jeff Savoda was there at our bar, and he was hanging out, and he was just talking to just different Blue Jackets fans for a bit. And I thought that was cool. And then he left our bar to go work the game. So, like, these are good people, and it sucks that they lost their job. But at the same time, Hefty Duck said it perfectly, is that the unfortunate reality is that you look at where things are going, and it's TV, and it's video, and it's internet, and Facebook, and Twitter, and social media, and YouTube, and stuff like that. That's just how things are going. That's where most people want their stuff now. They want to be able to just turn on the TV and they want to see something. They want to be able to just go on Twitter and see something. You want to be able to just like pull out your tablet and go to YouTube or something and listen to something or watch something. And that's just, how it is. And I know some people aren't happy with that. I understand that. But at the same time, in my opinion, I have a feeling that if the Blue Jackets didn't do this and adapt to the way things are going, those people would be ripping on the Blue Jackets, saying, "Oh, how come you're not adapting? How come you're not doing more TV stuff? How come you're not doing more video stuff for social media?" Blah, 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 blah. You just can't win with these people. You just can't. You just can't win with these people. Last thing I'd like to say is that Mark Scheig had this good article that I think you should check out. And this particular part I really liked is that right here is that where. So it says, first and foremost, the news sucks for fans. The strong feeling this caused are completely legitimate. The news was sudden. McElligot's contract was not renewed, was buried in the media release, the TV to simulcast radio news. Then Svoboda released a statement indicating he was not coming back in the midst of the rumors that was happening to him. It felt blindsided the fans, also not gut punch in line of continuous gut punches to one of the most loyal fan bases in the NHL. The manner and speed of these moves happened gave the impression that money was a driving factor rather than any impact on personal relationships. While there's no sugarcoating how brutal this news was, we do have to acknowledge the other side of the story. As hard as it might be for some to hear, the Blue Jackets aren't out to intentionally hurt employees or their fans. The team is facing very real pressure to adjust due to massive changes in the landscape. FanDuel Sports collapsed. The regional sports model was unable to hold up. There's a very real financial impact to the Blue Jackets. Not only did they not get the money that came from the agreement with FanDuel, they now have to pay the NHL their portion of part being of the new centralized production that starts this season. They have to sell ads and among other tasks to gain revenue in that area again. So think about this. It sucks that they lose their jobs and they had to do this, but FanDuel Sports Network had a deal with the Blue Jackets that put your games on our network and we will give you money. Well, knowing what we know now, FanDuel Sports is gone. It went bankrupt, and the Blue Jackets did not get that money. So, if you're the Blue Jackets, what the heck are you supposed to do? What the heck are you supposed to do? Because up until this point, you don't have a place to stick your TV games on, and then the NHL comes to you and say, well, we'll do it, but you have to pay us money, and I have no doubts that's not cheap. So that has to come from somewhere. And now you have to make up the money somewhere that you are not getting from the TV deal that you were supposed to be getting, but you didn't get. So, that's another thing to consider. And then it says here, money is absolutely tighter. The Blue Jackets have to make hard decisions as a result of given the challenges. One of those trends is to move to more video content. One looks at the numbers, tell the story. Fan prefers the simplicity of a click to watch the video over the time it takes to read the written word. That's just reality. Teams are being pushed in that direction, knowing where the demand is. So it sucks that people are losing jobs, but at the same time, the unfortunate reality is the Blue Jackets had to do this because, well, they have to make up money somewhere that they were supposed to get but didn't get, and now you have to pay the NHL to have your games on TV, and that's not going to come cheap.
Yeah, man, it's rough. It's all sports, that regional. I swear, it's not that the regional stuff is a total flop or failure. It's that it's just more profitable to do something bigger. It just is.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, there was a time where it didn't really matter. It was the heart. It was the spirit of the game. It was part of the, just the city itself. But it's becoming more than the cities that these games are played in. Oftentimes, it's this national broadcasting. It's this national thing now because they're not just banking on people from those cities, from the two cities that are playing each other to watch those games anymore. They're
Yeah.
trying to pull in numbers. So that's why they put games on national TV as well.
Yeah.
It's the way that they're claiming to grow the game. Is this actually growing the game? No, in my opinion. This is anytime you limit any sort of source from any extra media out there, that's taking away someone's connection. It's taking away someone's, um, you know, their ability to consume that media or to support their team the easiest way possible for them. Sometimes free, sometimes it's just crazy like how TV's gone to where it is nowadays. Like,
Wow, I know.
there was a time where you could flip on like not even satellite TV, like a TV with an antenna and get multiple major sports games. It's just gone. It's just gone. It's not around anymore. It doesn't exist. And so we've already seen it happen. I'm not surprised. I have zero surprise about this, or I'm not even shocked, like even a little bit, because we saw it go with Bally Sports. I mean, Bally and Fox, I think, went back and forth like 2 or 3 times, like even like prior to picking up the Blue Jackets. And then the Cleveland Guardians, basically, they're part of the MLB TV stuff now. It's MLB.TV/Guardians or whatever the hell it is. So it's like, it makes sense to me. I really don't want to pay to see this one thing. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pay to see multiple teams, but I can't say that I'm for it because I'm always gonna want things to be local as much as possible and stay at home as much as possible, the city you're from as much as possible. But
Yeah.
I also, it's a business first and foremost. The game comes second anymore. It's money, because just like with every other massive corporate type corporation, it comes down to who is investing and how are they going to get a return on their investment. And that's the bottom line. That is it. Winning comes second. And that's just, I hate to like say it because it's kind of a dick thing to say, but like you just gotta swallow that pill. You just gotta take it. We don't have any other option.
Yeah. Wine, you got anything to say here?
Yeah, I discussed this briefly last week with the simulcast thing. In general, I don't like, and it's happening everywhere. It's not just the NHL or the Blue Jackets. I just don't like the notion of people being replaced by machines,
Yeah.
like for all these jobs everywhere. Like, it's dehumanizing, really. Like, these are people's livelihoods that you're messing with for, these AI or simulcast TV. Like, yeah, I personally don't like
That's
where we're headed with that stuff.
The mass corporate takeover and becoming a monopoly. And that's,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and the Svoboda news was also a shock to me. Like, that was just something I wasn't expecting. Because he was like pretty much the go-to guy for like Blue Jackets news on Twitter. At least that's pretty much where I saw most of the Blue Jackets stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it was like only him and Metzold were the two reporters whose articles were written for and on the official Blue Jackets website.
No articles for Metzold. He didn't do
Mets
that.
didn't. Okay, so just for Svoboda, that was the team news guy. If it came from him, it was 100% going to be a fact. We can rely a lot on big names like Mark Scheig and Aaron Portzline, occasionally they're going to get it wrong. But if it came from Svoboda, it came from the organization. It was almost like part of the Jackets PR.
Yes, Svoboda was almost like the Elliot Friedman of the Blue Jackets. Like, if it comes from him, it's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I do want to put this up on the screen here from Dylan. Another comment says, not to switch up on you guys, but I have a question. Which prospect do you think is most ready to take the leap to the bigs? The answer to that question for me is Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, defenseman at Penn State. Played really good at Penn State this season, set a record for most goals by a defenseman in Penn State history with 11, and just played really good as the season went along. I see 6'4", 200 plus pounds, big, physical, hard to play against. Obviously can play some good defense, can score goals. Really seen as a guy that could be the next big defenseman for the Blue Jackets. And now he's going to go back to Penn State for another year, and he has another good season at Penn State. I wouldn't be surprised if, he's the next one, to play for like the Monsters a little bit, and then he'll be with the Blue Jackets. So that would be my guess. I would say Jackson Smith, Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, who's at Penn State. He's probably the next guy up.
Yeah, as far as like taking that leap, I'm going to talk a little bit about maybe even some of the guys who are on the I don't know if you can really consider them prospects still, especially if they've actually played a game or two on the team. But like the next person to get a permanent roster spot on the Blue Jackets is probably going to have to be Luca Del Belez. He's already like a sub in. Like I said, it's not technically a prospect anymore, but I think as far as the most ready to like be a permanent part of the biggest league is him. And I think after that it's going to be like Luca Pinelli. I think he's making some waves.
Probably Putia too.
I like Putia. Yeah, he's got to have some sort of breakout season to really make it hard, make it there. Because but yeah, as far as it goes, I'm gonna have to when it goes to true prospects, like hasn't sniffed the league yet. I think Jackson Smith is probably one of the most ready. I wish that I could say it was why am I blanking so hard in this freaking name here?
Caden Lindstrom, Michigan State.
As much as I wish I could say it was him,
he'll get there.
He'll get there, and we really just have to be patient with the process and with the injury. He's 100% healed and has been. You still have to, in my opinion, be patient with it just in case, because this is a lifetime of a career ahead of him compared to trying to rush it now. I wish I could say it was him, but
he's at Michigan State, which is one of the top hockey schools. So like that's where you want a guy like him. You want a guy like a Caden Lindstrom at a top hockey school like Michigan State, because they know how to develop talent. And if you paid attention to what Michigan State people were saying last season, they said, he started out slow, but as the season went along, he started to play really good. And Caden Lindstrom, this is how I know that he's real serious about this, is that so he was at development camp, and he had a good development camp and was really one of the guys that really stood out. You can see why the Blue Jackets picked him, because he's 6'4", 220, center. He's hard to play against, physical, big, and he can shoot the puck. Like, you can see why the Blue Jackets picked him. And he was asked by the Columbus media, like, okay, well, what are you going to do after the development camp? Like, you going to go home to Canada for the summer? Or what are you going to do? And he said that after development camp was over, he was going to get in a car and drive up to Michigan State. Because I guess there were some guys on Michigan State that, like, they're having their own, like, little practices up there. Like, Michigan State can't do anything right now because it's summer, but I guess there's some guys on Michigan State that wanted to have their own practice. So, like, he said, well, I'm going to go up to Michigan State and we're going to do some practices and get ready for the season. Like, to me, that says that he's serious and he's ready to go, because you don't have to do that. Like, you can go home to Canada, be home with your family, because, you obviously don't get that when you're at Michigan State. But he didn't do that. He said, no, when development camp is over, I'm going to drive up to Michigan State and then just start practicing. So, like, he's where he needs to be. He needs to be at a school that's good at hockey and can develop talent, and that's Michigan State. They have a history of being good at hockey and developing talent. Duncan Keith, really good defenseman for the Blackhawks, won some Stanley Cups. He went to Michigan State. Porter Martone, stud for the Flyers. He went to Michigan State. So there's other names too, but that's where he needs to be. He needs to be at a school that's good at hockey and knows how to develop talent, and that's Michigan State.
Yeah, another name to consider, just because he is over the age of 20 and he's starting to get there. I think he might be a little undersized, and that's William Whitelaw. I know he's like a third-round draft pick, but
shooter.
Yeah,
he's a shooter.
And we have these defensive guys coming up as prospects that are looking pretty good. I think, man, if he could really get it together,
William Whitelaw, that guy's a shooter, because when he was playing in Youngstown for the Phantoms, he had 36 goals, and then he went to Wisconsin and he did good there. Then he went to Michigan. He did good there. But where he really took off last season, he went to Michigan State and just played really good and just became a really good top-line player for him. And I saw him play for Michigan. So the day before the Blue Jackets outdoor game, Michigan played Ohio State in hockey at the Shot. And William Whitelaw, he has a little Cam Atkinson in him, because Cam Atkinson was a smaller guy. But, man, Cam Atkinson could shoot it. He could score goals anywhere on the ice. He'd score a goal for the Blue Jackets and be like, wow, how did he do that? That was William Whitelaw. He had one goal that game. He easily could have had 3, because he had so many chances to put it away. And he's just that type of guy where he just kept getting the puck, and Ohio State was like, just kept leaving him open. And I'm like, ooh, that's not a good idea. But they did it, and it burned. On the first 2 times, they got away with it, where he just missed it. But on the third time, it burned him. They left him wide open, and then he just kind of sniped it. He shot and scored. So, like, he's one of the better shooting prospects that the Blue Jackets have. And he's going back to Western Michigan this season. Have another good season. You do that, you'll probably spend some time with the Monsters, but I could see him a guy eventually with the Blue Jackets, because that guy is a shooter. Yeah. He can really shoot the puck.
Well, and size does matter to a certain extent. He's 5'9". That's why I say that, 5'9", 170-some pounds. He could still have more growth. He's a very young person. But then, I look at players like Trey Fix-Wolansky, if you remember that guy, who was a bit short of a player, who had a hell of a shot. It was very quick release. I mean, that was one of the big things that, like, made him and he had the most points on the Monsters for, like, several years in a row. And that's almost what kept him down in the AHL, is, like, he was almost, like, too good for that team. But he was always And that's what I feel like. Whitelaw is projected to be better than Ypsilanti was projected to be, but I hope that he can get through that. Just a slight height. I mean, he's 5'9". It's not like it's like the Ypsilanti was like 5'7", I think.
Yeah.
But the smaller guys can definitely get in there, and I think I just looked at Whitelaw's stats. I think he's about a point per game player when he was at Western. Yeah, 39 games played, 34 points, 19 goals, 15 assists. Like that's a hell of a season right there. Like really
Yeah.
good. And I don't know too much about Western Michigan University. He had been at the University of Michigan prior to this last season, but
Western Michigan won the national championship in 2025.
oh, okay, gotcha. So, yeah, that's just another name that kind of came to mind. Was William
Yeah.
Whitelaw, just because it's someone we've kind of talked about before. Let's see.
Because if you're playing good at big top-notch schools like Wisconsin and Michigan, that usually means you're pretty good and that you're going to have a good career. Because schools like Wisconsin and Michigan, they only take the best, and if you're playing good there, that usually means you're pretty good, and it usually means you're probably going to have a good career in the NHL if you're playing good at a good hockey school like Wisconsin or Michigan.
So here's another player to think about. I know I don't care that this is derailed at all. I really don't. This is fun to talk about. And he's a bigger guy. And this is why we might see him sooner rather than later. This guy's had 2 AHL games, and that is Charlie Elick. Elick?
Yeah, Elick.
So he's only 20, pretty young, but he's 6'4".
Yeah, so him and Jackson Smith, they go with the theme of what the Blue Jackets have been doing draft-wise since Don Waddell took over, which is they're going after defensemen that are big, that are physical, and just are hard. They can skate. They're hard to play against, or they just use their size to just shut things down. And that's the thing about Charlie Elick, is he's that kind of a guy where he's big, he's physical, and he can be hard to play against, and he just uses his size to just shut plays down. And that's just a trend of where the Blue Jackets are going under Don Waddell, is he wants defensemen that are big, physical, hard to play against, and just shut things down.
Yeah, like I said, he had just had 2 games with the Monsters last season, but he is set to be on the Monsters roster like fully for this entire next season.
Yeah.
And I think judging how that's going to go, I mean, he was a second round pick like 2 years ago now. And so that's a pretty high pick. Those type of players we should be looking at, hopefully getting them into NHL, hopefully sooner rather than later. In part because of his size. Yeah, he definitely needs to develop properly. Still, I don't really know I'm not familiar with his game that much yet, but yeah, Charlie Elick. He'll be playing for the Monsters next season.
Yeah. All right, then. All right, on to the next thing. We're just going to show some goals of just the theme of this is we're showing goals from different Big Ten schools, and the theme is you just get cooked on this play. There's nothing that you could have done here. Just accept the fact that you got cooked and move on. Try again next time. So first off, we're going to have Wisconsin playing Ohio State, and this is actually a Big Ten hockey tournament in 2025. Ohio State got to host a home game, but they had to play it at Nationwide Arena where the Blue Jackets play because the Shot was having a wrestling tournament that weekend. So Ohio State couldn't use the shot, so they had to go down the street to play at Nationwide Arena where the Blue Jackets play. And this particular play, Ohio State, you can't, they didn't do really anything wrong here other than losing the face-off. But other than that, they got cooked. It's like there's nothing that they could have done to stop this. Just say, hey, we got cooked. We'll just, we'll try again next time. We'll move on to the next play. And you'll see what I mean here once I play this goal here. So Wisconsin wins the face-off. It's on the power play. They get the puck up high, pass down kind of to the boards, pass down low, and then 19 in red, he's wide open. No one's paying attention to him, and he's just going to one-time it past the goalie, and the goalie's going to have no chance. Like, you just got cooked there. There's nothing that you could have done there. You just accept that fact and just say, you know what, move on to the next play. We'll try again, because up high, down low, and you get cooked.
Cooked.
Yeah. I only have to assume there's more fans in the upper bowl than there are in the lower bowl here or something, because damn, there's like 5 people there.
Look at this. So you win the face-off. All right. Up high. And a pass, and then wide open. You're just going to get cooked. There's just nothing that you could have done there, Ohio State.
Yeah. Let's talk about, so this was this a power play?
Yes.
Yeah. So there really wasn't much. But let's talk about their defensive structure here real quick. So pause it there for me. Okay, this is exactly what they should be doing. You have one guy going towards the puck. You have the other 3 players are going to set up the other part of the box for the diamond. So you see one guy going to I'm looking at this from the defensive side. So he's going to the left of the ice. You see one guy staying on the right dot, and you see one guy maybe kind of floating in the middle / possibly going back towards the goal. So go ahead and play it here. And Wisconsin just absolutely plays this great too. So what they do here is they spread everyone out. So now, even if you're playing a zone defense, you have to think about that there's a man behind you. Like, yeah, you're in your zone. Where you should be. There's still a guy behind you.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be in the back of your mind. So the one thing here maybe is that the guy in the middle of the ice, I can't see what his number is exactly for the guy right above him. Yeah. For Ohio State, he could maybe be back a little more so he could see the play develop a little bit better. I think he's a little blind to 19 at the top of the left of the zone there. You know, he's looking at the other 2 guys. He knows there's a guy behind him, not looking at 19. So go ahead, roll her forward again. At this point, everything is still being played pretty well. The structure is there on their power play defense. They're not being dragged out too far. They expanded when they needed to, and keep her rolling. Because there is like about a single point of failure here. All right, at this point, everyone's back is turned to 19. Everyone has lost him already earlier. 93, lost 19 3 seconds ago. Still is not even thinking about him. 23 is kind of aware of him.
Yeah.
But if they're doing the diamond formation, 23 is too far up. Once again, realistically, this could have been slightly modified by 93 being back a little bit closer to the goal. So you can roll the footy.
Cooked.
And boom, right there, cooked. Yep. And the majority of that was played very well by Ohio State. But they lost a man, and while your zone has to be a little flexible.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely some ebb and flow to it. You're not just gonna be in perfect down formation all the time.
Yeah.
But is this on 23? Is this on 93? I feel like if I had to look at someone and say, because of where 93 was in the diamond, I feel like they should have been more closer to this. Whereas, because even look where 23 is at. This was more about positioning than it was about a lack of skill.
Yeah.
But then also you have Wisconsin, number 19, Finley, or we're a little familiar with him.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's right where he should be, and he knows that. The other team knows he's reliable, and
Cooked.
yeah, that's how this tripping penalty. It literally went 7 seconds into the power play.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Just got cooked.
Cooked one last time.
What do you think, Ryan? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I did notice that 23 had lost his man a little bit there.
Yeah.
Do you think 93 could have helped?
Yeah, I mean,
look right here. I feel like he should be back a little bit further, but it's hard to call. It's not a bad position necessarily. It is kind of on
maybe
23's
he could.
hand.
Yeah, maybe he could prevent the pass a little bit if he's closer to him.
Yeah.
Because here, one last time, okay, in full motion, watch them get cooked. Just not good.
Yeah, I am gonna have to go here though, sadly.
That's all right. Thanks for coming on, Wine.
Hey, thanks, Wine.
Yeah, thanks for having me as always.
That's
We'll
right.
See you again soon.
Right.
Hell yeah.
But,
I'll try to be here next week too.
Yeah.
Dope.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, continuing on the theme of teams getting cooked. Next up, here's Minnesota just absolutely cooking Notre Dame here.
Minnesota.
So we're gonna put this up on the screen here. All right, so Notre Dame, bad play. You're forcing it to the middle where there's like three guys here. What are you doing? Because it gets picked off. All right, 20 on Minnesota. He's on a breakaway. And even though he gets tripped, he still cooks your ass and scores a goal.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's the definition of getting cooked. Like, look at this. We'll back this up. Like, look at this.
Penalize him when you fucked up that bad.
Here we go. I'm gonna trip, and I still cook your ass. Goal.
Man, those gold helmets look real dumb when they do something stupid. Like, I don't know why. It just seems like even dumber that they're in those like bright, shiny gold helmets, like similar to, if you're listening, it's similar to the football teams.
Yeah, and
it's a cool idea in theory, but in practice, it's just I don't like it.
Minnesota has yellow helmets too, so it kind of clashes.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Yeah, because it's like, and this is a color rush game.
Yeah, you got yellow versus blue.
Yeah, yellow versus blue. So yeah, looking right back at this, this is horrible positioning by Notre Dame. Like, it just is. Where are they at? The one guy that's open, I don't know why he passed it. Like, he was trying to lead him. You just look like where the puck goes, and if this guy would have looked up to where he was hitting the puck, he would have immediately seen almost like four guys.
Yeah, it's like you're passing it to the middle of the ice. Why are you doing it? It's gonna get picked off.
You literally like pass it right to him, and it was just a panic. And then if you notice, at this moment, the momentum is going forward with the puck. So what happens? They get the puck. So the guy that just turned it over is now, I think he's in the center, and he's going to go back on defense. And so now he's got a couple of things on his mind. One, I just fucked up.
Yes.
and he might be like, I got to make up for this. So he's going to
Yep.
try really hard. But
Yeah.
he's like overthinking it and then just like does nothing. Because if you see 22 here,
Up to 20.
immediately loses his man. Just
Yep.
immediately.
And I'm going to trip you, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to cook your ass and
Yeah.
score a goal.
Like if you're gonna go for the penalty, if you really truly want to save that shot and give your team the best chance, you're gonna take a penalty. It sucks. And then they can go for the penalty shot, but that is at least a fair, like pre-planned thing. Whereas like this is the heat of the moment. Like it's harder to stop a shot on like a random shot than a planned one. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm making it up. But you know, that's probably what I would do here. And good on Minnesota for staying on sides here and all that too.
Just I've said him multiple times, but he cooked their ass because you trip him, and in the process of him falling down, he still scores the goal.
Yeah. To be fair, he did do the penalty, which nullifies when the goal scored, but that's pretty funny.
Cooked. You got cooked.
Oh, is that a relation to Casey Middlestat?
Yeah, probably, because
Middlestat? That's not a very common name, I'd imagine.
Probably.
And they happen to both play hockey. That'd be crazy.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna move on to the next goal here. Here we have Wisconsin cooking Michigan.
Let's go.
Again, this is bang bang quick power play, and this is like you could have done nothing.
Which
you got cooked. So it's on the power play first period. Michigan at Wisconsin, and Michigan just get different cues.
Which
different cues?
Which one is it? Do you know?
Nothing to do with Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, or Luke Hughes.
Oh, okay. Because one of them didn't Jack go to Michigan?
Quinn Hughes did.
Quinn Hughes went to Michigan. One of them fucking did it. I didn't
know
what
you two of them. Two of them. It was Quinn Hughes and Luke Hughes went to Michigan.
The one I said was the only one that didn't.
Well, yeah.
I'm just playing.
But,
let's go.
So,
okay. But good to know, just in case anyone else is seeing this guy's last name is Hughes. Spelled the same. No relation.
So Michigan is just going to get cooked here. There's nothing that they could have done well, other than winning the faceoff. But other than that, they just got cooked. Just try again next play. So here we go. Okay, so up high, Wisconsin wins the faceoff. Pass, and then they're going to get cooked because pass and then one timer. They just got cooked. So nothing really Michigan could do here besides win the face off.
No, this was almost more of Wisconsin just being good rather than Michigan being bad in any form, because they were all in fairly decent positioning. Now they're on the power play. So once again, the most common, the most popular power play formation is the diamond. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, it's like a 1-2-1. So you got the goaltender, you got a defenseman, two defensemen, and then one guy, possibly a forward, probably defenseman, and they're like doing the penalty kill, not power play, penalty kill. And they start off getting into position. You can tell they're not quite there yet, but if you roll forward a little bit, you'll see them get into it. And then you'll see the collapse. So here, Minnesota is spread out. At this point, all four heads are concerned with just the puck because I don't think you can see it. I'm pretty sure there's another guy from Wisconsin down further up the ice, like up in the corner. And the other two, from Wisconsin holding their positions, the defenseman at the top of the zone there, and then the other guy across the ice. Very important. Very, very important. They know the style of defense. They're familiar with it. Everyone should be familiar with it. and keep rolling. And this is how you deal with that. Once you see they collapse, he made a pass to the open guy. The pass is going to come back, I think. Keep
He's
on
gonna go.
rolling. But let's see how condensed, see how they're all closed,
Yeah.
because there's a
Yeah.
threat on the goal, a
Yeah.
minor threat on the goal. So the entire defensive structure is collapsing towards it. Rightfully so. You're like, oh, we don't want them to score. Holy shit. Now, guy, I'm pointing at my screen like people can see it. Duh. The guy who's supposed to be the left side of the diamond is collapsed too far in. That's where the failure is here. And if you keep on rolling, you'll
This
go right to the guy
right here, where
So
this
it
is
goes
where they
in,
officially get cooked here.
goes in, collapses, and that's a hell of a pass too. We can analyze the position and playing all you want. That's a hell of a pass. So for our audio listeners, number 11 for Wisconsin does like a kind of backhand spinorama pass. He's like literally by like the left goalpost, but then like
Yeah.
spins it out to the right dot, where this kid's waiting for the pass and he's wide open because, like I was talking about, the defensive structure collapsed. So he's wide open. Number 11 does this spin, like backhand thing to him that's like, you got to know your team. You got to know that guy's probably right there.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then,
here
you got to get the shot home. And he did that.
And he does. Cooked. Here we go. And you're cooked.
It's like Mom's Sunday roast beef cooked 8 hours while everyone's at church the whole day. I've never been to church for 8 hours. That's an exaggeration.
But one last time, and then we'll move on to the next one. Just again, up high, then down low, backhand pass, one timer, cooked.
Cooked twice, like refried beans. I'm full of them tonight, man.
Yes.
Shit.
All right, now on to the next one. This, let's see here. Okay, yeah, this is clips from Minnesota high school hockey, the Minnesota State high school hockey tournament. It's an 8-second clip. We'll play it and then we'll break it down. Edina versus Andover. Edina is just going to cook Andover here.
Look how many fans are in these stands. Hell yeah.
Well, it's Minnesota. It's the state of hockey. Hockey is like God up there, okay? It's like Jesus Christ. They love hockey up there. And I have been to Minnesota for hockey games, and it's awesome. Minnesota just has an awesome hockey culture up there. They'll sell out high school hockey games 18,000 plus.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Love to see it.
So here we go. We'll play the clip. Here we go. Just clicked. Like, here we go. So this guy, number, I think that's 8. You kind of look, I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it. No, I'm going to pass to this guy. Cooked.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was not a power play.
No.
What the hell is going on here? I'm gonna go easy on them. They are kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go easy on them here. They're probably all still like better players than I am, so definitely.
Well, if you're playing high school hockey in Minnesota, that's pretty good. What? There's a good number if you play high school hockey in Minnesota. There's a good number of people that have done that, and they go to the NHL. So,
or at least to college and get some scholarships, and
do
that, you have to be.
You look at all these big good hockey schools. Look at their roster, and you will see that they have people from Minnesota on their roster. You look at Michigan. They're going to have a Minnesota guy or two. You look at Michigan State. They'll probably have a Minnesota guy. Look at Minnesota. They're going to have Minnesota people there. Ohio State has had some Minnesota people over the years. It's just like if you want hockey talent, you're going to go recruit some Minnesota guys.
Well, and they have like whole like hockey academies now too, and sports academies that like are going to pop up in the most popular spaces like that too. Yeah. No shade at anyone who goes to those, because if you're like qualified to get into those, like you're already like you probably are already damn good.
No.
It's kind of crazy. But anyway,
here we go.
Yeah. So Edina starts off with the puck. Dude skates into the middle of the ice, which there's two guys for Andover that are really late getting back on defense, like really late. Yeah. And that's part of what draws them out. So realistically, what should be happening here, so there was two defenders playing like left and right in the back, and the left guy is going forward towards the center of the ice. In fact, going towards the right side center of the ice. So that leaves an Edina player completely just wide open right next to the goalkeeper in front of the crease. Because the right player is a little bit too far to the right to really be any of use to block the shot possibly coming. And that's what the left defender was thinking, is that this guy's about to shoot the puck. And the guy all the way on the right should be the one who's pressuring the center of the ice, in my opinion here. I'm not an expert. But the left defender is the one doing it instead. And that is where they get cooked, because he's expecting the shot. He's going for to protect himself a little bit from the shot. And number 8 just passes it gently, might I add, for the guy who's right beside the goaltender to just smack it home. It freezes everyone, because number 19 here, it was kind of should have. Yeah, if the left defender would have kind of just stayed where he's at.
But then
yep.
And here's it in full. Here we go. And cooked.
Yeah. That's the quarterfinal of Class AA
for Minnesota high school hockey tournament.
High school hockey.
Well, wait, there's more, because more Minnesota high school hockey, because they're the only ones that I've seen where they post clips from that. I've looked for like Ohio and other stuff. That doesn't really happen. So, I'm not going to try and pronounce these names. We got Gentry Academy and Minnetonka. I probably screwed that.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that one. Once it's on the screen, I might be able to. That's like a Native American name, I think.
Minnetonka.
Yeah, Minnetonka. Yeah. And Gentry, or maybe that looks like Gentry.
Gentry.
It's a G for those you who are listening on audio.
Gentry.
So this looks like the number 8th ranked team, Gentry Academy, versus number 1 seed Minnetonka.
Yeah.
The quarterfinals right here.
So this is good. Okay, so the setup here is there's gonna a guy Minnetonka is gonna have the puck, and they're gonna shoot right here, and it's just gonna be a quick shot by the boards, and it's gonna be real bad rebound right in front of the net, and they're gonna jam it in, just really bad. Because he's gonna shoot it, and it really bad rebound right in front of the net, and you'll see. Boom, and yeah. Cooked.
Shoot, I looked away. Hold on.
We'll back this up. All right, so here we go. So he's got a shot by the boards. Bad rebound and cooked.
Yeah. I mean, this was played pretty well here. 42 for Gentry is kind of caught maybe a little bit too far into the inside, where Minnetonka has someone kind of more towards the wall that they're passing to. That's all it really is. I mean, that's not a huge error by any means. It just was a really fast, solid shot, and Minnetonka was the forward was right there for the rebound. It just got to the rebound first. Bam. Good shot. Side though. It's literally right to his stick.
Yes.
Like, not much you can really do about that unless you're. I mean, the goaltender. Like I'm taking into consideration that these are high school players too.
Yes. Yes.
It was a good shot. It was a good block. Boom. It went in.
And left-handed shot on the right side of the ice. That's also easy goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got
and
caught.
The goalie was already like momentum going this way to block the shot, and then would have had to like push back to the right.
And so cooked. Here we go. Shot and
Yeah, I don't really have much of a breakdown as like how I think like I literally just said it. There's just one or two things. And unfortunately, this one is more of like a skill one than positioning one.
Right now. Yeah. I think we got one. I think I got like one more to. I think we got one more to show here. So I'm gonna put that off this screen here. Okay. I gotta put this. I'm gonna pull this up here. So, I'm gonna look this up, and we'll probably like one more, and then that'll be it for that. Some other stuff to share, and then we'll get out of here. This is the stuff you have to do when you do a summer show. You have to, look for stuff to talk about, because that's just how it is. You have to.
I do have to get going before long.
All right, fair enough. You just have to look for stuff. That's just how it is. So let's see here. We got the Buckeye down. That's okay. We're almost there. I got it. So, all right. So this is too much puck watching for my liking here. Ohio State is at Minnesota. Awesome jersey matchup though, because it's red versus yellow. Ohio State does win this game 4-1, but in this particular play, it was just bad because you're just too much puck watching here. And I'll put this up on the screen. So first off, great jersey matchup, red versus yellow. I love that. So here we go. So Minnesota has the puck. They get it in. A little pass. And what's going to happen? You're going to have four guys on one guy, and then someone's going to pop loose wide open. And it's like, it didn't have to be like that.
Yeah, not at all. What was that Ohio State defender doing? Why doesn't he have the puck right now already? Why isn't he passing it off to the left side of the ice and going up the ice? Why is it even to this player?
It just, so here we go. All right, Minnesota, they dump it in. A little pass. And then four guys on one guy. This is not good, because this is what happens.
That one guy wasn't even trying that hard to get the puck.
Yeah.
Ohio State should have had that puck 3 or 4 times in that like single 2-second sequence.
Here we go.
Yeah. They should have it.
Yeah.
It should just be in their possession right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that it's a kind of bumbling puck, but like there's 4 of you right there.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't even reaching with a stick. It hit his foot. And he kind of bounced it back to himself.
Yeah. We're not even trying there. And then
this clown shoes going on right here.
And then here we go. And
let's watch the whole thing full speed real quick.
All right. 4 guys on one guy. Someone pops loose and they score. It did not have to be like that. Why is there 4 guys and 1 guy, and then someone pops loose and he's wide open?
That looked like you ever heard people talk about like punching in their dreams,
Yeah.
where like it just seems like you're not hitting them. That's what this looked like with Ohio State's sticks. It looked like they were like trying to punch in their dreams, like they were reaching their sticks towards where the puck kind of generally was, but no one was getting it, and they just couldn't. And all Seven just spun around in this. All he did was spin around in a circle. That's it, right there, dude. I say this a lot, and I probably am not a good example. I'm not a role model. Sometimes you just gotta push someone over and get a penalty. Like it's better than just getting immediately scored on. At least that gives you a chance to like reset and like get on your feet. What? Here, reaches, knocks for it. Right then and there, at this moment, there are literally 3 players that could hit that one guy with their stick at the same time.
Yeah.
Yet the one guy with the stick gets to knock it to himself with his left foot.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say here. I don't know, like, because like it's just a skill issue. Like that's it. And like I don't mean to like rag on someone, especially like these younger guys, but like it's kind of a skill issue, dude. Like you should have that. You got cooked, but you're the one that marinated yourself.
It's just why 4 guys on 1 guy. You don't even get the puck, but like, why is it 4 guys on 1 guy to begin with? Like, because this, of course, it just no. And then as we've shown here, what happens is because there's 4 guys on 1 guy, someone is going to be open over here, going to pop loose, and they're going to score. It's like it didn't have to be like that because.
This is like the start of the second period still too. I'm surprised. Yeah. Like they look like they would be gassed more, like towards and like frustrated. I don't know what was going on before this. Maybe they were in their head.
Because they get the puck, they bring it in. Here we go. And then just no. And then because 4 guys and 1 guy, someone pops loose. Someone pops loose.
Get on that guy. Like Minnesota's players are just like that was great positioning. He passes it to the middle. He comes around from the back of the goal, and then he realizes that Ohio State players are having a hard time trying to get the puck. So he goes to help his buddy, who's literally just standing there kicking the puck around like once or twice. Like right there. How does Ohio State not have the puck right there? His stick is wrapped up with another stick.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a guy literally looking at the puck with his stick in his hand with the puck. Like, just fucking move your stick a little. I don't know, man. I'm a little sorry, guy.
All right. Here we go. Here it is. All right. Yep. No. 4 guys and 1 guy. Someone pops loose, wide open, and you're cooked.
Ouch! They made it look easy, and that's not.
Bad defense. Bad.
I saw the one guy that was out there was their captain. Yikes!
Just no. Is no.
So. Like Minnesota was even like taking a line change right there.
Yeah. You just not good. All right.
That's tough.
One last thing I like to have you react to, and then you can get out of here. This was a video over the summertime. There was a video over the summertime, a little summer school in Columbus. and there's like a reading program. That's and Stinger. However, you're at a school and Stinger shows up with pizza. So how about that? So we'll play this video here.
That's cool.
Stinger shows up for a little pizza party. If you're at a school, like you're at school and Stinger shows up with pizza.
Like, if you don't know what it is, like that could be mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
I see like the one girl who like turns around like, what? Why is everyone reacting like this? What is this?
But everyone else is jumping up and down and clapping like, yeah, Stinger!
Wait, when was this?
It was in the
I
summer.
guess this could be like a summer school program or something.
Yeah, it was in the summertime.
Or it could have been. I mean, it could have been filmed last year. You never know. But oh yeah,
every people jumping up and down, clapping.
Oh yeah, pizza party, man. That's sick.
With Stinger, I'd take it.
Giant green bug. So right there, is that a big stuffed stinger or is that a child in a stinger outfit?
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, that's a stuffed animal stinger.
Yeah, that thing's huge. It's like life size. Like that's got to be like 4 feet tall. If I could put my elbow on it, I mean, because whoever's in the stinger suit's usually like pretty tall, or at least like average sized.
There it is.
Yeah. I got my stupid ass little stinger guy right here.
Hang on a sec here. We'll put that up.
Jersey comes off, but I don't know like why you want to take it off. You want naked stinger running around everywhere.
Look at that. Look
Look
at
at
that.
If you didn't know what this was, you'd just be like, dude, what the fuck is that? I guess I still got the tags on it. It just kind of sits back here. It's a collectible.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Make me small again.
Hang on a second. There you go. Look at
I had
that.
my
Good old,
You're looking at those clips.
good old Stinger. Yes, I know, having a bug for a team named after the Union Soldier. Oh, there you go.
I want to get this signed by Stinger so bad.
That's right.
That would be sick. This is like legit probably one of my favorite pucks.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. You know, yes, having a bug mascot where you're named after the Union soldiers during the Civil War, it is not very made sense, but it is what it is. You know, he's wearing a kepi, so that counts for something.
At least we're not like cannonballs and just balls or something stupid.
Right. Yeah. That would be something. Let's see here. Well, I tell you, one last thing. We'll put this up on the screen here. Adam Fantilli's golfing with Cole Sillinger. There you go.
Nice.
Adam Fantilli is golfing.
Dude, all these guys are good at golf. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Between being highly competitive and also like having at least like somewhat of a similar like stance to shooting the puck. Whack. I wonder where that's at.
I don't
it looks
know.
like there's like mountains in the background almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's gotta be like, I mean, shoot, I guess that if I were Cole Sillinger and Adam Fantilli, where would I go play golf at in the summer? Who else is it with? Does it say down there?
It's just Adam Fantilli.
smooth. Bunch of big hills like that. I mean, that could be like the top of the Appalachians or something. I almost have to venture to guess that was like Colorado. I would have no clue.
I don't know. I just saw that Cole
Even keep
Sillinger.
up with any of the other players, like they're doing like I know a lot of them do like an off-season training like with other players from around the league sometimes.
Well, so Erica Branson's wife posts a lot of stuff on Instagram. So like you see what Erica Branson is doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, he's got, I guess his family has like a cabin in Canada that they go to, and they'll post pictures from
Nice.
they're on the lake, they're on a boat. Erica Branson was at a Blue Jays game recently. You know, whatever, there's that. I know Dmitry Voronkov, he went to some World Cup games.
Oh yeah, right.
So there's
That's
that. Cool. Dmitry Voronkov was also on a jet ski, and he was by the Statue of Liberty. He was in the water by the Statue of Liberty, and he was on a jet ski.
Just out here doing side quests now.
Yeah.
Was he with Marchenko? I know they hung out a lot before, but I know Marchenko's got a wife and kid now. Does he have a kid?
No kid yet.
No kid yet.
Marchenko was Kirill Marchenko's wife posts a lot of stuff with, you know, what Kirill Marchenko is doing, and, you know, a lot of it's just like, oh, they're doing stuff in Russia. Like, oh, they went to a restaurant, or, you know, they're doing this with their cat, or they went to some sort, you know, they did this, they did that. Oh, Kirill Marchenko went here, you know. There's that. Caden, Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom has a new car.
Nice.
He posted that.
What kind of car was it?
It was a blue car. So, you know, you're a Blue Jackets prospect and you have a blue car now. So, you know, it's cool. Adam Fantilli. Adam Fantilli's been doing a lot of traveling, because he was in Italy, and then he went to England, and then he was doing stuff in Canada, and he's been doing a lot of, like, you know, a lot of stuff on the water. He's been on boats and, you know, skiing in the water. You know, you hold the skis on your feet and you hold on to it, and then the boat drives you. He's been doing a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, what I just showed you, he was playing golf with Cole Sillinger. You know.
Well, so you said something about Italy. That reminds me. So many people wonder why Adam Fantilli's nickname is Mo, because his name is Adamo. It's Adam with an O at the end of it. All right.
Yeah.
And then he's got the last name Fantilli, so it, you know, sounds a little Italian. But there's another guy on the team who has an Italian last name. That's Dante Fabro. He's actually going to be the Grand Marshal for the 2026 Columbus Italian Festival. So that's cool. That's some summer fun shenanigans. You know, that must mean that he's like living here and staying here in the city, I'd imagine.
I've been paying. So Dante Fabro's wife has been posting a lot of stuff on her Instagram page, and the general idea of what I've seen is that Dante Fabro has been doing a lot of stuff in Nashville.
Okay, it's not till October 11th. I just read, so he'd be in town for hockey anyway.
Yeah. But Dante Fabro, from Dante Fabro's wife, has been posting a lot of stuff of Dante Fabro, and it's like,
didn't he play there for a while?
he did play there for a while though, so
Yeah.
I get that. So it's like, oh, he's doing something in Nashville. He's at a gym working out. He's at a restaurant. He's doing this. He's doing that. And then there's like, oh, they were in Canada doing something. So there's that. Kent Johnson's been hanging out in Canada. So there's that.
Didn't he train? He was hanging out with like
He was Connor Bedard
Connor
last
Bedard
year.
And Connor McDavid at one point last season, anyway.
Last
They were
off season.
training.
Yeah. So there's that. Ivan Provorov, he went back to Russia. With he took his wife and his kid over to Russia for the first time.
Oh yeah, right. Because his kid was born during the season.
His first kid was born in August last year.
Oh, of last year. Okay.
And so, I mean, that was cool. Ivan Provorov gets to.
Yeah, I think
take it.
I'm pretty sure his entire family lives there. Like, there's no one over in the States here.
Yeah, no.
That I've ever seen on social media or anything like that.
No,
they're just visiting.
So, like, that's cool. Ivan Provorov got to take his wife and his kid over to Russia to meet his Russian family. That's cool. And then they've also been going, and then like you say, they've also been going to like a lot of restaurants and going on a lot of walks. Like Ivan Provorov and his wife, they've been sticking their son in like a stroller and just taking him out for walks all around wherever the heck they are. So there's that. Article in Russian media, Valery Nichushkin. He's been spending a lot of time in Russia, and like he talked to the Blue Jackets like on the day that he got traded, and then ever since then he really hasn't heard anything. And basically, well, we'll see in training camp. We'll talk to you then. So there's that. Jackson Smith, Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, he's been going to some like concerts. So there's that. I've seen some pictures where it's like Adam Fantilli and he's hanging out with his family. So there's that. So like they're doing. Blue Jackets players are doing some stuff. Charlie Coyle, I know that he goes to visit he's got family in Massachusetts, and I know he goes to Massachusetts to visit his family. So that, there's that. Elvis Merzlikins, he's originally from Latvia, and he's been posting on his Instagram page where he's been in Latvia, showing his kids around Latvia. So, that's been cool. Yeah.
Well, we can always do a little catch up here in another week or two. Kind of see what everyone's been doing. I don't keep up too much just because I just don't get on social media very much. When I do, it's mostly for work stuff or for this.
Yeah.
But I would like to. I would like to try to follow them a little bit better sometimes. But
so Luca Del Bel Baluz, he's been posting a lot of pictures, spending time with his family.
That's cool. Yeah, he's pretty young yet.
Yeah. So there's that.
I
Let's see here. That's
Yeah, I gotta be heading out of here.
All right, then. I got some stuff to say, but you can say your stuff and get out of here and don't and hit the right button. Don't screw this up.
Once again, my name is Lance Schrock. You can check me out on Instagram at Lance S Tattoos. There's dots between the words. But check me out. Come get tattooed. I'm a little bit more of a northeastern Ohioer, but I'm come find me. All my socials are out there. Thanks for watching us. If the easiest way to support us is also the freest way to support us. Just simply liking, and sharing, and subscribing, or whatever. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your coworkers' friends. Be the weird guy who talks about hockey with everyone that comes into your work, and then maybe they'll know you as the hockey guy. And when they find something cool in their basement that's been lost for fucking 8 years, they'll give you the cool Blue Jackets memorabilia thing. Be that guy. Anyway, thanks again, y'all. I'm just gonna hit the X at the top of the corner.
Don't screw this up. You better hit the right button.
Have a good rest of the night.
Don't screw this up.
I'll see you soon.
You better hit the right button. You better hit the right button. Okay, he hit the right button. Because one time, Hefty Duck didn't hit the right button. I wanted to keep going, but he didn't do that. He hit the wrong button, and that ended the show. And I didn't want that. But he did it. He did it good this time. He hit the right button. So we can keep going for just a bit more. So, first off, I would like to put this up on the screen. So, this is a hotel. This is a hotel by the Columbus airport. And, a little mural, it says Columbus, Ohio. It's downtown Columbus. You got an airplane, an Ohio State football player. Fine, but this is a failure. Where's the Blue Jackets? Where's the crew? How about something about the Clippers there? Huh? I've ripped on people for this time and time again, but there's still some people that they have a old mindset that is boring and it needs to stop, which is this. If you still think that Columbus is only about Ohio State, you need to stop doing that immediately because you don't know Columbus. You need to get rid of that very stupid and idiotic mindset. Stop Columbus is only Ohio State. That was the case, in like 1982 when Columbus was like, basically Ohio State town. That was it. Ohio State was the only game in town. But that's not the case in 2026. There is so much going on here that this needs to be better. You going to do the little sports thing? Yes, put Ohio State on there, but I want to see something with, the crew and the Clippers, and most importantly, the Blue Jackets. That's just me, though. I would like to see that. I would like to see something Blue Jackets on here to go with Ohio State, because the two big dogs, the two big names in Columbus are the Blue Jackets and Ohio State. So just something that I would like to see better is let's get a little representation of the Blue Jackets here. Because the Columbus airport, they do it correctly. Because I remember this, depending on the area of the airport that you are in, you fly in, you fly off, you get off the plane, and like you're in that little area that you walk in before you walk into you're out into the airport, and there's on the wall, there's like a little advertisement. Look, there's Ohio State, and there's a little something about the crew. Oh, look, there's the Blue Jackets. Clippers. That's the correct way to do it. The wrong way is let's just focus on Ohio State. Unacceptable. That is very unacceptable. It's not like 1982 where Ohio State's the only thing to do anymore. Get rid of that mindset. Dump it immediately. And focus on what's going on in Columbus. It's not just Ohio State anymore. You have so much in Columbus that's not Ohio State anymore. The Blue Jackets and the Crew and the Clippers, and hey, we got it, the Aviators, the Fury, and there's Short North, and you got German Village, and you got our bar, the Columbus Zoo. So much going on in Columbus that does not involve Ohio State. So if we're going to have a Columbus mural, I want to see something else besides just Ohio State there. Let's get a little more better representation of what Columbus is about in today's world. So see a little Blue Jackets on there and a whole bunch of other stuff that isn't just Ohio State. That's just me, though. So next up, let's see here. So you should be paying attention to these Big Ten schools. These Big Ten schools will have Blue Jackets prospects this season. Minnesota has defenseman Tanner Hendricks and goalie Melvin Strahl. Michigan State has Caden Lindstrom, Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom. Penn State has Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith. And Ohio State has Blue Jackets prospect Evan Jardine. So these are the Big Ten schools that you should be paying attention to this season. Minnesota, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. And of course, I just want to put this out there. These are the list of the Big Ten schools that have a Hobey Baker Award. Of course, Hobey Baker Award, that is the Heisman Trophy of college hockey. So if you win the Hobey Baker, that means you did good. You were the best player in college hockey that year. So, for the Big Ten schools that have won a Hobey Baker, we have Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Michigan, which is not surprising at all. Those schools are the big dogs when it comes to hockey in the Big Ten, always good at hockey. So it's not surprising that Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Michigan have a Hobey Baker Award. The Big Ten schools that have yet to win a Hobey Baker Award are Penn State, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Yes, Notre Dame is a part of the Big Ten for hockey. And just point it, so that is the list of Big Ten schools that have won a Hobey Baker Award. Now, there are 4 players that have won a Hobey Baker and have played for the Blue Jackets. So I am going to put that up on the screen for those 4 players that have won a Hobey Baker Award and have played for the Blue Jackets. I'll put that up, and I will put that up on the screen here. Of course, it's oh. So, here it is. These are the 4 players that have won a Hobie Baker Award and have played for the Blue Jackets. We have Adam Fantilli. He played at Michigan, won a Hobie Baker Award, and now he's playing for the Blue Jackets. Johnny Gaudreau. He won a Hobie Baker Award at Boston College, and he played for the Blue Jackets. We have Jordan Leopold. He won a Hobie Baker at Minnesota, and he played for the Blue Jackets. And we have Brian Holzinger. He won a Hobie Baker Award at Bowling Green and played for the Blue Jackets. So here we have 4 players that have won a Hobie Baker Award and have played for the Blue Jackets. So one last time, it's Adam Fantilli. He did it at Michigan and playing for the Blue Jackets. Johnny Gaudreau, he did it at Boston College and he played for the Blue Jackets. Jordan Leopold, he did it at Minnesota and played for the Blue Jackets. And Brian Holzinger, he did it at Bowling Green and also played for the Blue Jackets. So there you go. Those are the 4 players that have won a Hobie Baker Award and have played for the Blue Jackets. Let's see here. Maybe one more thing. I'm going to check the bookmarks to see if I have anything else to say. Otherwise, I'm going to say my final stuff and then get out of here. Let's see. Let's see here. Bookmarks, 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 bookmarks. Bookmarks, bookmarks, bookmarks. Yes, we'll do this. We'll finish it off this way. I'll put this up on screen here. So, Michigan hockey, a little post here, doing a little promotion, a little, hey, are you good at hockey? Are you a defenseman? Come play for Michigan. Because here they have pictures of Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski, who both went to Michigan and eventually went on to win Norris Trophy. Of course, Quinn Hughes did it when he was in Vancouver. Now he's star defenseman for the Minnesota Wild. And Zach Werenski, he also won a Norris Trophy he also played at Michigan. And this past season, he won the Norris Trophy playing for the Blue Jackets. And the hashtag NorrisU. So, see, Quinn Hughes, there it is. And Zach Werenski. Of course, and when NHL had their top defense, NHL Network had their top 20 defenseman rankings. So, Quinn Hughes was number 2. And Zach Werenski was number 3. Though, should be number 1 because, real good defenseman. He just won the Norris Trophy. But that's neither here nor there. I'm biased. I will admit that. But he should be number 1 because he won the Norris Trophy. But, yeah. Michigan gets to toot their horn here. A good recruiting pitch here. It's like, hey, are you good at hockey? Are you a defenseman? Come play to Michigan. You'll be at a good hockey school and you'll be developed correctly. We'll get you ready for the next level and you'll win a Norris Trophy. Just like what Quinn Hughes did and Zach Werenski did for the Blue Jackets. So, yep. All right. So, that's maybe I'll check my bookmarks one more time to see if I have anything else to share. If I have anything else to share here. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Let's see here. Gotta check the bookmarks. See if there's anything else to share. Let's see here. All right, we'll put this up on the screen, and then that'll be it. So, the Athletic had an article about what are the best hockey rankings for 2026, and the Blue Jackets were in the top 10. As you can see, that little, it's number 6 that's circled in red. The Blue Jackets were number 6 in NHL Arena rankings. So that's cool to see that the Blue Jackets were top 10 in arena rankings from a Athletic article, which honestly is not surprising because Nationwide Arena is just a great place to see a game. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased and I like the Blue Jackets. I'm saying that because Nationwide Arena is legitimately a great place to see a game. It just is. It just is. Nationwide Arena is just a great place to see a game. You know, as Blue Jackets fans, we are very fortunate to have a place that we can go see a hockey game, and it's an awesome place to see a hockey game. I've heard this from opposing fans too, that they like coming to Columbus to see a game because it's better than seeing a game in their respective city. Where it's like, you know, you hear from people from like Pittsburgh, like, yeah, we rather would come to Columbus to see Pittsburgh play against the Blue Jackets than rather than seeing Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I've heard it from Chicago fans. I've heard it from Detroit fans. It's just, I've heard it from other fans as well. It's just that they like coming to Columbus because it's just a better place to see a game. And Columbus has something that other places don't have, is not everyone is fortunate enough to have a place like what the Blue Jackets have in Nationwide Arena, but also just the setup around Nationwide Arena. Not everyone has, you know, a place where before the game you can go to, you know, a bar or a restaurant. You can go to a store. You can do stuff. You can hang out before the game and then you go to the game, where you have like a nice night out on the town. Not every team has that. Not every team can say that. Like, for instance, I've been to 2 Panthers games down in Florida, and the arena itself, good place to see a game. But it's basically like in the middle of nowhere. There really isn't a lot to do there. It's just like highway around it and just big parking lots. You know, you want to go to a bar or something before the game? Well, too bad. That does not exist down there. But so not every team is fortunate to say that they have something like what the Blue Jackets have. And what the Blue Jackets have is so good that people from Detroit and Buffalo have sent people down to Columbus to look at what the Blue Jackets have and say, okay, we need something like this. And then they get a better idea of what they should be doing. And essentially, they take what they have learned from being in Columbus and they go back to Detroit and Buffalo, and they make their own version of what the Blue Jackets have, the downtown arena district in Columbus, with all the bars and the restaurants and the stores and the hotels and so on and so forth. So I'm not surprised that Nationwide Arena was ranked in the top 10 at number 6 as one of the better places to see a game, because it just is. You know, I don't live in Columbus or Ohio. I live in Illinois, and a lot of my family and friends, they're like, Kevin, why do you go to Columbus? And I tell them, oh, well, because, the Blue Jackets or the Crew or the Clippers or, Ohio State, our bar, Short North, German Village, North Market, the Columbus Zoo, and so on, and, Tuttle Mall before it got closed, and, Polaris Mall, I like Polaris Mall, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I bring my family and friends to Columbus, and they love it. And then we bring them back, and then the next time I see them at like a family party or family get-together, they're like, Kevin, when are you going back to Columbus? We want to go back. We want to go back. We want to do this restaurant. We want to go, to our bar. We want to do this. We want to do that. We want to see the Blue Jackets play. Because they get it. They get it. Because once you go to Columbus, you get it, you understand it, you learn it, you appreciate it, and you want to go back. That has happened time and time again. I bring people to Columbus and they're like, Kevin, when do you go back to Columbus? I want to go back. I was like, oh, well, I'm going here. Well, okay, well, you can come with. And of course, over the years, my grandma and grandpa, they've been to Columbus, and I've shown them around town, and I've taken them to some Blue Jackets games, and, my Aunt Kurt, no, not Aunt Kurt, duh, that does not make sense. God, jeez. Oh, boy. My Aunt Karen, there we go, we did that right, Aunt Karen and Uncle Chris from Wisconsin, they've came to Columbus with us, and we showed them around town and different restaurants, and showed them, oh, this is where the Crew play, this is where the Clippers play, and showed them all the Ohio State stuff, and, Roosters, and, and you showed, Short North and North Market, and we showed obviously our bar before the Blue Jackets game, and we took them to a Blue Jackets game, and they loved it. They want to go back. And my grandma and grandpa, when they could travel, because they can't, well, because my grandpa's unfortunately dead, so, can't go anywhere. But my grandma can't really go anywhere anymore for the most part. But like when they could go, they loved it, and they always wanted to come back to Columbus. And then my Uncle Jeff, he's a big sports guy. He likes baseball, football, basketball, hockey. And he's been wanting to come to Columbus to see the Blue Jackets play for years now. And he hasn't been able to do it, but this is the year that he's finally able to do it. And he's really looking forward to it. He is. He's talking about, man, I'm going to Columbus. I'm looking forward to it. And see the Blue Jackets play. And interesting, yesterday, so he's part of St. John's Church in Johnsburg, Illinois. And he's an usher there every Sunday, collect some of the money. And then there's like a parish fest that the St. John's Church does every year. And this past Sunday was the parish fest. Parish fest. And Jeff was there helping out at the Parish Fest, and he had a Blue Jacket shirt on because we gave him a Blue Jacket shirt. And he likes that Blue Jacket shirt, and he wears it from time to time. And he was telling me yesterday when he got home from the Parish Fest, because he lives with me, and so is my mom and dad. So it's my mom, my dad, and then it's me, and then my Uncle Jeff. And my Uncle Jeff comes home and then tells, Parish Fest, it was fun and everything. And then he tells me that people made some comments about his Blue Jacket shirt and asked him a question. It's like, oh, yeah, it's a Blue Jacket shirt. It's hockey and, whatever. And then I guess there's a guy from Michigan. He looked at like, oh, Columbus, like, ugh. And it's like, well, Blue Jackets. Okay. And I laughed at that. And it's like, yeah, who cares? Because it's like, I know you're looking, it's like Ohio State and Michigan, and I get it, the rivalry and everything, but it's like, that has nothing to do with the Blue Jackets. It just doesn't. And why are you going, ugh, Blue Jackets? Why are you doing that? Because you know why? The last 2 seasons, the Blue Jackets have taken the season series from Detroit. 2-1 the last 2 seasons, including the outdoor game at Ohio State that the Blue Jackets beat the Detroit Red Wings 5-3. Awesome game. One of the best games I've ever been at. One of the greatest moments in Blue Jackets history. My brother Ryan is not much of a hockey guy. He really doesn't watch it on TV. He's a big baseball guy, so he's always watching baseball. But if you give him tickets to a hockey game, like, he'll go. He'll go. If you give him tickets to a hockey game, he'll go. And so, of course, so he went with me to the Blue Jackets outdoor game. And he's not much of a hockey guy, and even he loved it. He thought it was awesome. That's just how big and important and how powerful of a moment it was in Blue Jackets history for that the Blue Jackets outdoor game was. It was that big, that powerful, that important, that popular, because it was that good. You set a record for second highest ever attended hockey game with over 94,000, and you set a new TV record for highest stadium series game on TV since 2019. Yeah, you did something right. Millions of views. Millions of views on TV. It was that good. And of course, there was a post on Instagram where there's this jersey tournament between all the jerseys that have been in the Stadium Series games. And what do you know? The Blue Jackets won that one. Because, yes, the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey is just really good. Big-ass cannon on it. The sparkly silver, like the chevrons on it. Chevrons just like what the Union Army wore in the Civil War. And the cool like CBJ logo and like a little belt buckle from the Kepi. And the little use of the Civil War theme. And it's just that good. And when you were at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, like that jersey that day was everywhere. A lot of Blue Jackets fans were wearing that. There were other Blue Jackets jerseys too, but a lot of that was the outdoor game jersey. I was one of those people. I wore that outdoor game jersey that day. So it's not surprising that the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey won the best Stadium Series jersey in a jersey tournament on Instagram. I am not surprised by that. So to finish this off, I'm not surprised that Nationwide Arena finished in the top 10 for an athletic article and best places to see a game. I'm just not. Nationwide Arena is just that good to see a hockey game. As Blue Jackets fans, we are very fortunate to have an awesome place to see a game because not everyone can say that. Not everyone can say that. So, as Blue Jackets fans, we are very fortunate to have an awesome place to see a game. So, I didn't want to do that. Gonna change up the banners here. Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to say one more thing, and then we're gonna get out of here. So, Dave Portnoy, I know you're a big Michigan guy, and I know when you come to Columbus, the main reason why that you come to Columbus is that you're doing pizza reviews and you're helping out businesses, which is cool. And because you're a big Michigan guy, you're also coming to Columbus because you take shots at Ohio State. So, I get it. You're a Michigan guy, you don't like Ohio State, so you take shots at Ohio State. I get it. But that's bland and boring. Here's a more original way to come to Columbus. You can do your pizza reviews, which is awesome. I like that. And then you go to a Blue Jackets game and you support your fellow Michigan men. Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, and Zach Werenski. So that way you can use your cheering on Michigan energy in a more original, productive way instead of just ripping on Ohio State, which is boring. It's just boring. It just is. It is boring. It's just boring. So go to a Blue Jackets game and cheer on your fellow Michigan men, your fellow Michigan alumni. That's what you should be doing, in my opinion. I'm going to put this up on the screen here. This is what you should be doing. You go, Dave Portnoy, you come to Columbus, you do your pizza reviews, then you go to a Blue Jackets game. I know you're a big hockey guy. I know you like hockey. You're really posting a lot of hockey stuff during the Stanley Cup playoffs and really posting a lot of hockey stuff during the Olympics this year when USA beat Canada, which was awesome. So I know you like hockey, Dave Portnoy. So come to Columbus, do your pizza reviews, and then go to a Blue Jackets game and support your fellow Michigan alumni, Zach Werenski, Adam Fantilli, and Kent Johnson. Because Blue Jackets games are awesome. It's an awesome part of Columbus, and better than taking a shot at Ohio State, in my opinion, because that's just everyone takes shots at Ohio State. That's not very original. That's kind of bland and boring. So, one last time, Dave Portnoy, next time you come to Columbus, do your pizza reviews, and then go to a Blue Jackets game and support your fellow Michigan alumni, Norris Trophy winning defenseman Zach Werenski, Kent Johnson, stud, and Adam Fantilli, also a stud, future star, first line center of the Blue Jackets, star player. So do your pizza reviews, come to Columbus, and go to a Blue Jackets game and support your fellow Michigan alumni, Zach Werenski, Adam Fantilli, and Kent Johnson. So, I'm going to say my final stuff, and then I'm going to get out of here. So, first things first. Next week's show will be on Monday, August 17th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube and Twitter. So again, next week's show is going to be on Monday, August 17th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So that's our next show. We'll see you then. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, just always wanted to give a shout out to my awesome grandpa. You were much of a hockey guy, but because of me, you became a big hockey guy, and then you got interested in the Blue Jackets because of me. And you always wanted to know about the Blue Jackets. So whether that be I talked to you on the phone, whether that be I talked to you in person, you always wanted to know about the Blue Jackets, and I talked to you about the Blue Jackets. And when the Blue Jackets are on TV, you watch the Blue Jackets on TV. I set it up on your iPad that you could watch Blue Jackets games, and you loved it. You loved it, and you told me about how you loved it, that you can just pull out your iPad and watch the Blue Jackets play. So, miss you very much. I wish you're still here so I could just talk about the Blue Jackets with you. And, you know, October will be here before you know it. And this will be the first time where I won't be able to, you know, talk to you on the phone or in person about the Blue Jackets. So that's going to be real tough. That's going to be real sad. Wish you're still here so I could talk about the Blue Jackets with you, especially during hockey season, because that will be here before you know it. So, shout out to my awesome grandpa. So thank you for everything. I wish you're still here so I could talk about the Blue Jackets with you. So shout out to my awesome grandpa. Thank you for everything. And of course, have to give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, who's a big hockey guy, and I love talking hockey with you. And you're a big Blackhawks guy, but you know, the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team, and I appreciate that, and love talking hockey with you. And I wish you're still here so I could talk hockey with you, and you could share your thoughts on how you think the Blackhawks season went, and I could share my thoughts on how I think the Blue Jackets season went, and I just miss talking hockey with you, and I wish you're still here. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything. And two last things here is don't forget to check out March of the Union Army, the annual march that Union Blue Soldiers has. It's going to be on Thursday, October 1st, 2026, our bar, 6 o'clock p.m. So again, join Union Blue Soldiers for their annual March of the Union Army on Thursday, October 1st, 2026, our bar, 6 o'clock p.m. This is the event that you want to come to, a fun event for all Blue Jackets fans to come together to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So one last time, join Union Blue Soldiers for our annual March of the Union Army on Thursday, October 1st, 2026, our bar, 6 o'clock p.m. Join Union Blue Soldiers as we march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. And one last thing. Don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. So, from me, Kevin, Hefty Duck, and shout out to Wine, always coming on to join the show. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. And check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye now!